All right, so let's get cracking here. In typical Ben Cummings fashion, I am probably trying to cram way too much good stuff into one webinar, but I'd rather overwhelm you than I guess underwhelm you. But we're going to be very focused here, and I've tried to do things in a logical order for you guys. Just a quick recap. You guys might remember this little squiggly line of success from the first webinar that we did together. I really want you to keep this in mind. This is even more applicable now, right? Because it sounds so good when you buy a course initially, as we said, and in your imagination, you pick your best case scenario always. It's going to be super easy. You're going to have to spend 5 minutes, and you're going to be able to build a mansion, right? Success actually looks like the picture on the right, as we said. There's lots of interesting plot twists, temporary setbacks, and hey, such is life, right? I mean, if you look back at your own life when you've accomplished something that was worthwhile, it was never a straight line, was it? And, it's these little plot twists, as Todd Herman likes to call them, that makes the journey a learning experience, that makes it fun, that allows you to sharpen your teeth, and, frankly, that if success were a straight line, it would be too easy for people to become your competition. I like when there's many little setbacks because most people are wimps, right? They give up at the slightest thing. They get rejected by 4, let's say, Chinese manufacturers, and they're just not able to find a product after getting turned down 4 times, and they give up. I love that because I'm the guy who's gonna contact Chinese manufacturer 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 until I get something that works. It's really not that much more effort. I'd say it's maybe 5% more effort to overcome these little setbacks. So look at setbacks as a positive because everyone else is experiencing them, but most people don't have the mental fortitude, the motivation to just take what's necessary to overcome those little setbacks. And it's pretty much all between our ears, isn't it? I mean, if you get rejected by 4 Chinese manufacturers for the price that you need to get, is it really there's no physical harm to you that happens. It's not like money flies out of your wallet. There's really no harm. It's just the emotion of, gosh, maybe this product won't work. So what? You haven't really lost anything in that process. So, don't be afraid to have these setbacks, and just always keep the big picture in mind. Ultimately, as long as you're, as the general direction is headed northward, you're good to go, and you're going to leave the competition in the dust. So, anyway, the whole goal of the group coaching, why I started the group coaching program is so that we could go on this journey together. Because as my Amazon business grows, I'll be sharing that with you. In sort of parallel, right? As we come up with these breakthrough tactics and methodologies, because Amazon is constantly evolving, literally monthly. They're keeping us on our toes, and just things are changing. It's just the nature of any business, but in particular Amazon. Because why? Well, Amazon is the world's largest e-commerce platform, and as such, they themselves are growing, tweaking, changing, testing. And that keeps us on our toes. Now remember, with change comes great little pockets of opportunity. So I love that it's not stagnant. eBay, it's pretty much stagnant. There's, but Amazon, they keep opening up these little opportunities, these additional ways to profit, and I just love being involved with the Amazon business. I like to call it the world's most perfect business. For the low startup cost compared to the scalability compared to the reward, I can't find anything better. So anyway, the kind of goal of my group coaching program is the mentoring model, right? The old you're going to work for the blacksmith as an apprentice. He's going to teach you the trade, and the odds of success when it's done with that mentoring apprenticeship model is vastly higher than as opposed to when somebody just stuffs information down your throat and leaves you to fend for yourself. I believe I showed this just a couple weeks ago. I just got back from vacation, so I haven't had a chance to update this. But anyway, this month, this is very current, we just cracked $114,000 in sales in my Amazon business. And, what got us there was I launched 3 new products. We got 3 bestseller badges. We broke the top 100 bestsellers in beauty for all three products. The point is that this is validation that the stuff I'm teaching you does hold up in the real world, and that that these aren't just theories that I'm spouting out. I'm in the trenches every single day like you guys are. Let me give you a quote of the day, or a quote of the webinar. This is one of my business idols named Richard Qzx909. He's the author of the 80-20 book. I talked about him on the last webinar. This is one of his homes in Portugal, and he says this. He says, everything you want should be yours. The type of work you want, the relationships you need, the social, mental, and aesthetic stimulation that will make you happy and fulfilled, the money you require for the lifestyle that's appropriate for you. If you don't aim for it all, you'll never get it. To aim for it requires that you know what you want. And I love that quote. In fact, a business partner of mine got that quote on a coffee cup for me, because he knows that I'm such a big Richard Qzx909 fan. Now, here's what I want to loop back to. Don't forget why we all got into this business, because this is a lifestyle business. We don't want to be managing warehouses. We don't want to be trading time for money on the hamster wheel, do we? We want the leverage of being able to find hot products, step in front of that tsunami wave of traffic that's pre-existing on Amazon, leverage the trust and authority that is Amazon, and private label products, and then get them ranked, get them sourced. Once they're there, move on to the product number 2, 3, 4, and so on, so that the 80-20 rule kicks in, so that we end up with a small handful of absolute home runs, and the rest will be passive income earners, and probably you'll end up with a couple dogs. Thus is the nature of business. But always keep front and center, even when you're mired in the detail and sometimes the frustrations of dealing with Amazon, big picture, guys, this is a lifestyle business, right? So what motivates me every day is every November, for about the last 5 years, my wife and I and some friends, we fly down to the island of St. Bart's. It's a French colonized island. It is French speaking. They have the euro, and they have more restaurants per capita on this tiny little island with some of the best French chefs. It's my personal paradise. And so I would ask you, what is your St. Bart's, right? What's the fuel that's motivating you to deal with these little plot twists and setbacks? So, I hate I hate gurus that quote themselves, but I've been using this quote since the late 1990s in my work with doctors, so I am going to quote myself. I know it's annoying, but I think this is a very important insight. Don't build your life around your business. Build your business around your ideal lifestyle. Let that sink in for a minute. So, when I started my Amazon business about a year ago, I very much so was conscious and very cautious in the way that I structured and behaved as I built that business. I literally made a list of what not to do, what I wasn't going to do no matter what I was willing to do in the short term to learn the business, and that which I would very quickly delegate to other people. So I very consciously, everyone says, oh, this next great internet marketing course, this is a great lifestyle business. Yet everyone's working, 18 hours a day, right? They don't have a freaking life. They're overweight. They never go on vacation. They're getting divorced. I don't know about you, but, I don't want to be the richest guy in the graveyard. I want to have fun along the way. So I would submit to you that don't build your life around this Amazon business. I'll just give you a great example, and I don't say this to sound like a braggart. In fact, just the opposite. I say this to motivate you and to inspire you here. Literally, I just got back from spending 10 days on vacation on this island of St. Bart's. This is a friend's villa that they rented. It was freaking gorgeous weather. And guys, here's what's crazy. My entire Amazon business literally ran itself with one employee, one outsourced employee, doing customer support. I worked, and I put that in quotes, I worked maybe 15 minutes a day while vacationing. I'll just give you a quick tip here. One of the secrets to, automating and building systems in a business is, yes, you have to do the initial heavy lifting, but you only have to build systems that are about 80% effective. Like, in other words, to outsource my customer support, you're not going to get a million different variations of customer support emails. You'll get, the bulk of them can be answered with a system that will address 80 to 90% of the typical questions you'll get from customer support. So you just build templates for those, and then you can pretty much hire anybody that can copy and paste and, a slight little personalization, and bam, there's your customer support system. So you don't have to get 100% perfect. Just build systems that address 80% of it. And again, this is a lifestyle business, or it should be. And no, I did not drink all that liquor that you see on that table. There were, we had other participants, but it was some darn good rum, I'll tell you that. But here's what I learned, kind of reflecting on this 10-day vacation. I just got back Sunday, and I realized that, what's so great about this business is all the heavy lifting occurs in the finding, the sourcing, and the ranking of the product. It's a front-loaded business. Like, in other words, once that is over for a product, it's pretty much hands-off. I can't think of any other business like that. We're literally like, once it's there, sure, there might be some re-ranking maintenance here and there, but it pretty much, it's a set it and forget it. And then the game becomes, hey, let's add new products to our product line. So my aim is to add as many profitable products as possible, with the caveat that I want it to fit my high odds product picking criteria that I taught you on the first webinar, because I want the 80-20, to kick in. I want, I don't know what's going to be the home run products, but when it all falls, down into the stats, again, we know that about probably 20 to 30% of the products will be, huge money makers. The bulk, that kind of standard deviation in the middle will be nice passive income earners, maybe anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 per month, hands off. And I'm sure we're going to have a couple dogs. We don't really have any dogs right now. I mean, pretty much every product we've released, even in the worst case scenario, we should be able to, to make, many several thousands of dollars, even on my worst seller. Now, if you had told me a year ago, because it was, I was part of ASM 2. I bought it, just like you guys, in October last year, okay? And I remember I was in St. Bart's last year with my wife. I brought my laptop, and I was literally sitting at the exact same place that we rented this year. And I remember we had just gotten some samples from China, and I just decided, you know what? I just want to get in the game. So I pulled the trigger on one of those samples, okay? And I remember it so vividly. It was literally almost exactly 1 year ago today. Now, if you had told me, fast forward a year from now, that I would now have a $100,000 per month business, a seven-figure per year business, I would have said you were crazy. And here is the bottom line, guys. If I can do this part-time, anybody can do this. I'm not a member of Mensa. I'm not some super genius. If I can do this, believe me, all of you can do this. Now, I strongly suggest one thing that will keep the motivational kind of fuel in place is to make a reward system for yourself. Like on the next slide, this is a screenshot of somebody in ASM Master named Mark Reynolds, and he posted this. I think this is a phenomenal idea. So he says, okay, my wife and I decided we would do a reward system for fun when we hit 1K, 5K, etc. So I love this. So his first sale, he's going to buy a bottle of Havana rum. Mark, you're my kind of guy. Once he hit 1,000, he's going to slap up meal in our favorite restaurant. 5K, a night in their favorite hotel, the Glaffys. I'll let you pronounce that. But anyway, so on and so forth. 100K, they're going to, do the Hawaii hand wave dance in a grass skirt in Hawaii. I mean, I love this. And he writes, what's your reward? What's your St. Bart's? So homework assignment number 1. What is your St. Bart's? Take some clippings from a book or magazine or print something out from the internet that massively inspires you. I'm looking at mine right now. It's right next to my desk. I have various pictures that just, at a glance represent my most important goals or things that keep me going, during those quote-unquote plot twists. And you might want to make a reward system just like this. All right, so let's, something that I always do in my Amazon Fast Track coaching, I like to, this is like tackling and blocking for us. These are the cornerstone principles, at least the way I do things. Number one, we operate from a very simple business plan. The Ben Cummings model here is I have a goal, I want to make $10,000 from one product. So if I want to have a $100,000 a month business, which I now do, I need 10 products. My goal is a 40% profit margin. And so we're going to net $40,000 a month. Now, 80-20 principle. I'm always wearing the glasses, so I'm looking out through the lens of the 80-20 rule throughout my Amazon business and throughout the way I'm managing my time day to day and the way I'm picking products and the way I'm marketing. I really suggest, if you haven't read the 80-20 principle book by Richard Koch, that you read it. Get the comic book version. It's really fun, quick, easy read. And I'd read it a few times. Really get it ingrained in your, in your mind. But big picture, the two things that go in concert with each other is if you have 10 products, then we have to release enough products for the 80-20 rule to kick in. The 80-20 rule can't really kick in with just one or two products. Sure, you might have a home run right out of the gate. That's more luck than anything else. But to really initiate the 80-20, when the big numbers are going to kick in, you need 10-plus products, in my opinion. No, that won't happen overnight, but I'm just saying it's a long-range goal. The third aspect is my high-odds product picking approach. Again, there's no such thing as a quote-unquote perfect anything in business. There's not a perfect system. There's not a perfect product. There's not a perfect employee. So there were several questions about my high-odds product picking approach. But a lot of those questions were predicated on, people were so, panicked about making a mistake and getting it perfect. This is not a 100% system. It was never intended. It's just give me an 80% odds of success of finding the 20% of products on Amazon that, in my estimation, have a high probability of earning $10,000 a month in sales or more, right? Because that goes right into the lap of my simple business plan. I want one product to average $10,000 a month. And then the end game of all this, at least for me, is to own a collection of these 80-20 breakout home runs as well as passive income earners. All right? Now, I got some absolutely killer freaking stuff for you guys today. There are only 5 most important things, 80-20 things, that has grown my business to $100K a month. And I'm going to just give you the bottom line of what they are, of what I believe. There's just 5 things you need to focus on. All the rest is just background noise. Second, how to launch your new Amazon product. No one's really laid this out in a proven kind of path. I'm going to show you exactly what we do that's worked every single time for us. And it'll get you from a standing start to making money on Amazon, hopefully as quickly as humanly possible. Then I'm going to share how to get a ton of 5-star reviews fast. This will work even if you don't know anybody in the USA, yet you need reviews for your new Amazon product based in the USA. You're going to freaking love this, and this will work for everybody, by the way, USA or international. Related to some of the above, I'm going to teach you, in my opinion, the 3 fastest, quickest, most powerful ways to improve your on-page conversion rate for your listing. And finally, we're going to wrap up with tools that I use in my Amazon business. Because you guys are always asking, hey, what tools are you using for this, that, and the other thing? I'm just going to show you my favorite tools that I use in my day-to-day Amazon business. Of course, these are all optional. Some of them, aren't even appropriate until you have your first couple products, but I'm going to share them with you nonetheless. Okay, so let's talk about 3 factors that get you ranking in Amazon. This is what everybody wants to know. Like, what are the ranking factors? Let me just break it down very simply. You need daily sales velocity. You need on-page conversion rate, and you need 5-star reviews. You get those 3 aligned, that product's going to rank. Now, unfortunately, Amazon isn't like a giant, gumball machine where you insert quarter and it spits out a gumball. You can't force them to give you a #1 ranking. That's just not how Google or Amazon works. However, we can game the system enough that you have a very, very good chance of outranking 80-90% of the competition. And I'm gonna teach you the exact path to do that. But everything is in context. If you're in a massively competitive field, you're going to have to move a lot more product. You're going to have a better on-page conversion. You're going to have a crap load of 5-star reviews to compete, as opposed to if you went after like the base hits sort of product. Now remember on the last webinar I said there's 3 approaches to product picking. First is you go for home runs right out of the gate. You jump in the pond with the most competitive your product mix. And I warned everybody that if you're going to do that, you got to have the cash flow to move some serious product if you want to rank. Okay, that's just market reality. Nobody has a magic wand that can magically make you rank somehow for the most massively competitive markets, that have very low, barrier to entry, yada, yada, yada. Path number 2 is you can kind of nibble around the edges and go for the base hits, and this is what I tend to do. And then path number 3 is a combo of the above. So now I have more of a blended approach. I go for some home runs, but largely I try to hone in on the base hits. Now let's just stay on the slide for one more moment. Okay, just let's step outside of the nitty-gritty detail. Let's just think like Amazon here. Okay, let's just think like Amazon. You're Amazon, and you're certainly not running a non-for-profit. You are definitely an e-commerce for-profit company, yes? Right. And they're publicly traded, correct? Yep. Now, why the hell would I rank your listing that's only getting 10 sales a day over another listing that's getting 20 sales a day? It would make no economic sense. So, rule number 1, your daily sales velocity has to be close to the other money earners. Otherwise, why would Amazon rank you? Now, we have ways to manipulate that. Okay? Now, also, if your listing is only getting 10 sales a day and you have a very anemic conversion rate of 6%, your competition has 20 sales per day, and their conversion rate's 12%, again, why would Amazon ever rank your listing? They won't, because they're a money-making organization. So we need daily sales velocity compared to the competition. We need a better conversion rate compared to the competition. And 5-star reviews is the least influential in terms of ranking. I've done some tests where we have gotten a ton of 5-star reviews. I have a product launch where we've only been around 3 or 4 weeks. We have over 300 reviews. It's crazy, right? And I can just tell you that reviews by themselves do not rank a product. What reviews do is they goose up the on-page conversion rate because you have more social proof. And the higher conversion rate means you're going to have higher daily sales velocity. Does that make sense? So you need all 3 factors to kick in to get ranking. And don't overcomplicate it. It really is that simple. Now, one of the key tenets of I believe, of being successful with ranking a product is buying a page 1 ranking. Okay, I love to give credit where credit's due whenever possible. And Jason Fladlin was the first person who came up with this genius premise. He said, listen, if Amazon called you, they called you up right now, and they said, Mary, for your Bluetooth wireless speaker, write us a check for $30,000 right now, and we'll give you either a number 1, a number 2, or a number 3 ranking guaranteed. And the question I have for you is, would you do it? The correct answer is, how fast can I write the check? Now, I would say, when I do my private consults, back when I was doing them in the springtime, I would ask people this. And I would say, out of 100 people that I would pose this question to, 100 would say, yeah, I will gladly write a check for $30,000, even if I have to beg, borrow, or steal the money, because I know the value of a page 1, number 1, number 2, number 3 ranking. So then, okay, if you are willing to write a check for $30,000 to buy a page 1 ranking, why wouldn't you be willing, logically, to give away $30,000 worth of product for page 1 ranking? Just let that sink in. So, logically, there's no difference, right? 30,000 is 30,000. It just feels differently when a call comes from Amazon, right, as opposed to giving away 30,000. But logically, there is no difference. Now, I'm not saying you have to give away $30,000 worth of product. It's just the concept. So, listen, once our listing gets traction, you want to give enough product away to hit page one. You know, that's the way the game is played, in my opinion. So, you got friends and family, and I'm going to teach you an exact approach that works incredibly well with friends and family that will not only get you reviews, it'll get you a ranking boost almost every time. Then we do some proactive advertising, which is my specialty, and I'll show you how to do several facets of that today. You know, and now, why do you need proactive advertising? Because you very quickly run out of friends to hit up, especially if you're like now. You know, I've been bugging friends and family for you know, reviews so much now that I'm almost embarrassed. So, you know, I have other things that I do, and that's where the benefit of proactive advertising comes in, because you can scale. All right, let me teach you the wave theory. Again, I like to give credit where credit's due. Wilson Matos, I don't know how he came up with this, but it's a brilliant insight. He identified that 4 days seems to be a magic number on Amazon. You need 4 days of high daily sales velocity, and you know, to affect a ranking change. So, like, in other words, you have a new product. If you give away, let's say, 25 units a day for 4 days in a row, bam, that seems to be the magic number. Now, after testing this, I believe that Amazon does set ranking, but it's more based on a 4-day moving average. Okay. Now, I've noticed that there is some variation in this. Like, in other words, I've noticed that in some product categories that are more competitive than I'm in, where there's lots of buying activity, there's lots of competition, it seems to not take as long for some reason. So it probably has something to do with the catalog manager or maybe the competition. I'm not sure what. But just as a general rule of thumb, you have to be thinking in terms of 4-day waves or a 4-day push. So I like to think, when I'm trying to rank a product, I like to always think in terms of sending blasts of traffic in 4-day cycles. So literally just like the sine wave sort of picture, it's like okay, 4 days, bam, okay, and where am I ranking now? Oh, not ranking quite as high. What else can I do for 4 days? Bam, another 4-day wave. Okay, whoop, it just pushes up a bit higher. It looks like we need one more 4-day cycle, and bam, now we're, you know, in a ballpark there. And that was just an example. But think in terms of the wave theory. So the question I ask is, how many 4-day cycles do I have to hit for Amazon to rank me to page one? And it is what it is, because now, you know, I'm not here to bullshit anybody. So, you know, as I said on the very first webinar, if you're going to go after the most competitive market, well, you know, let me just ask you guys a question. Why is it harder to rank a product in a competitive market? I mean, why is it harder? Go ahead and type your answer. Why is it harder to rank a product in a more competitive market? Sales are higher, competition, sales volume. Okay, Michael, you got it. Sales volume. Yep. Now, okay, this is very important. You guys know this. So, okay, so one of the ranking factors is what? Okay, what's the first ranking factor? All right, just go ahead and type that in. The first ranking factor is, that I taught you, is, that's right, daily sales velocity, correct? Okay, so if you are in a more competitive market where everybody else is selling 100 units a day, you see, you have to trick Amazon essentially into thinking that you too are a 100-unit-a-day product with a high conversion rate, right? Okay, so that's why it is harder to rank products in more competitive markets. It's definitely not impossible. I mean, I've done it in virtually every single product that I've tried it. But I will say this: it is way easier to rank in a less competitive market because they're just not moving that many units per day. So I can, again, quote unquote, trick Amazon into thinking that I'm suddenly a very hot product and rank that much faster. Okay. So I kind of look at this as stock market investing, right? So it's not like oh, Ben, what's this going to cost me? I usually say, who gives a crap? It's what will this make you, right? I mean, look, I deal with the reality of like, budget restrictions, and I don't have unlimited cash either. I mean, I'm just like you, and especially when I started out, you're nervous. It's like, gosh, I'm writing checks for inventory, and I had to buy the ASM course. But look, you you really have to view this as, okay, if I can rank this on page 1, how much am I going to make, daily? I mean, in theory, if it costs you $5K to give away a product, I'm not saying you need to do that. I'm just talking a concept. If you gave away $5,000 worth of product and that got you within the top 5 rankings, you might make that $5,000 back every 3 days once you're ranking. Okay, so the correct issue is not what is this going to cost, because all it is a marketing cost, right? It's what will be your ultimate return on investment once you're ranking in the section that you want to be ranking in. Okay, so here's the vital question. I said that one of the segments I'm going to teach here, and so we're sort of now transitioning into one of the first modules. It is, what are that very small handful of activities where all the money is made on Amazon? Let me just tell you what they are. Number 1, picking high odds products that have an 80% chance of making me $10,000 or more a month. Okay, I consider that vital in this business. I taught you my entire system on the first webinar. Okay. Second, getting ranked. Look, it's we used to rank websites for chiropractors and dentists. Being on page 3 in Google, you might as well be on page 3,000 because no one's going to find you. So we call this the Amazon sweet spot. You top 20 listings. So there's 17 on page 1, and that would be then so somewhere on page 1 or within the first 3 of page 2. Okay. Now that rule of thumb is changing slightly, because you might have noticed on Amazon that they're now displaying listings in 2 formats. One is a vertical, kind of like top to bottom, and then there's this new format that we keep seeing that I think they're testing called the grid format, and it's like 3 or 4 across horizontally. Okay, so the sweet spot number might be changing in the future if that grid format is working better. And the grid format, I hope they move to that format, because now I can be in the top 6 or top 8, and I'll be still in that sweet spot. I'll be like above the fold. So that's a huge opportunity for us when you see that grid kind of layout. All right. So anyway, number 2, getting ranked within the top 20. It should say getting ranked within the top 20, not necessarily on page 1, because the top 20 is page 1 and the top of page 2. Number 3, getting lots of reviews as fast as possible. Okay, I'm going to teach you my product launch formula that'll get you there. But always in the back of your mind, another way to do that is give world-class, bend-over-backwards service, even when you want to tell off a customer who's being absolutely unreasonable. You have to grin and bear it, and do whatever it takes to avert those low, 1-star reviews. The 4th factor is we got to focus on margin. This is a margin business. So as your business grows, now in the early days, this was not applicable to me because I could not afford the economies of scale. But as your business grows, you need to dial this in ASAP. So economies of scale to get higher profit and lower your costs. So I'll just give you a quick example. So we recently started to ship by ocean freight, and our cost went down by almost 2/3. Okay, all that 2/3, I think it worked out to something like $2 or $3 per unit of savings per unit, right in our pocket. Okay, but it made no sense to do it previous to that. So I was spending the maximum amount just sending it air express, by DHL or UPS. But you always want to keep this front and center. This is a margin business. And the 5th is you have to release enough products to initiate the 80-20 effect. Okay. All right. So putting it all together, now you know the 3 ranking factors on Amazon. Yes. You know that ranking takes approximately 4-day cycles, somewhat category dependent, but 4-day cycles is the general rule. You know that you're only ever a 4-day cycle or 2 or 3 of these cycles away from a top 20 Amazon ranking, and that the correct mindset to take is that we're buying rank. Now the crazy part is, is now we're going to go from theory into action. All right, you guys ready? Any questions, by the way? Just go ahead and post them real quick. Not like off the wall questions, like off topic, but anything about what I've said? Jason wrote, how do you know how hard it will be to rank a certain product on page 1? Do you go by number of reviews? No. Well, you know, we don't know necessarily how many daily sales the page 1 listings are making and what their conversion rate is, right? So, it's sort of like a common sense thing. So if you're going to go into like a, Garcinia Cambogia, as opposed to like, let's say, paper clips, right? Just intuitively, you'd be like, okay, even if there's, your paper clip listings that have like 2,000 reviews, well, I believe it's far less competitive going into the pay per clip category because everyone's doing everything they can as far as optimization, as far as marketing, as far as yada 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 with the Garcinia Cambogia. So the pay per clip, again, just in theory, is going to be easier to rank for, but it's not. It has nothing to do with reviews. It has to do with on-page conversion rate and the daily sales velocity compared to the competition. The reviews, in and of themselves, don't rank a product. I don't care what anybody says. I've tested this. Reviews, okay, let's say you somehow, I don't know, could just like go from 0 reviews to 300, your rank wouldn't move, okay? The reason why people thought that reviews help you rank was because the reviews get you more sales because it's more social proof, right? So your on-page conversion rate would go up. Hope that makes sense. Ann says, would there be any reason to delay days between 4-day cycles? Yeah, I do it all the time because I want to see, where my ranking shakes out. I don't know where my ranking really shakes out until after that 4-day cycle. This isn't like a black and white thing where it's like, okay, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. I'm typically, I want to spend as little as possible, ideally, to rank. I mean, trust me, I've spent a lot of money to rank sometimes, and it's not the best thing, really. I mean, sometimes I probably gave away more product than I needed to rank. So I would say, be conservative. Start off with maybe just giving away 10 products a day for 4 days and just see what happens. Pause, see where your ranking sticks, and then maybe do it again, but maybe do like 12 a day for 4 days. Again, I'm just making these numbers up, but it is, it is kind of context related. It really depends on a product category. Let me see if there's anybody else. Cam says, if you run out of inventory while doing the 4-day waves, will this drop you in the rankings? If you run out of inventory, you're not even in the rankings. Amazon won't display your listing because they're a profit-making machine. I have found that my rankings do come back, but everything's within context. So, like, if all of a sudden, while I was out of inventory, 5 new competitors raced on to page 1, I may have to kind of almost do like a mini relaunch, if that makes sense. But I found as a general rule of thumb, the rankings do come back, but I wouldn't say it's like as precise as like, okay, I used to be ranked number 6, I ran out of inventory, and bam, now I'm ranked number 6 again. The rankings do tend to come back, though. One person says they don't have audio. That's only you. Everybody else can hear me. Let's see. Okay. Matthew, that's your question is too off topic for this particular webinar, but I would definitely post that in the main ASM Facebook group as well as the ASM Masters group. All right, so okay, good to go. Yeah, Yeah, everybody else says they have a good audio. So that one person that posted that you couldn't hear me, you open up 3 browsers. Something's going on your end, unfortunately. All right, let's keep going here. Okay, so I'm very excited to share this with you. Drum roll, please. Everybody wants to know, how do you, what do you do with that first product? How do you get that freaking thing ranked? Right? Have you wondered that? I'm sure you have. And, you have this vague notion of, hey, I got to do these 99 crazy things. 80-20 rule, guys. I'm going to share with you at least something that I found that works really, really well. And with rare exception, I put all my new products through this product launch formula that I have created. And I first taught this back in August. Actually, I first taught this back in spring because as students were, doing consult number 2 with me back then, I would teach them this, and it worked very, very well, very well. So you're going to learn the exact process that I go through when we launch a new Amazon product. And as I say, to date, my Amazon launch formula has worked every time. I am sure Murphy's Law, one of you will find a way to screw it up. But as a general rule, this is working very, very well, okay? Now, look at this as a submarine, okay? So in a submarine, you have compartments. So let's call this, like compartment number 1. You have compartment number 2. You have compartment number 3 and 4. The reason why they divvy up submarines into compartments is if there's ever a breach, they can quickly, seal the door up and, just kind of isolate that compartment. So the way that you want to look at the product launch formula is you're going to first make sure phase 1 or compartment 1 is complete before you seal the door and move into compartment 2. Compartment 2 has to be done 100% right before you seal the door and move to compartment 3 and so on. All right, you guys with me? So job number 1, urgently, when you release a product, urgently, you want to gain quick momentum right out of the gate to make Amazon think that all of a sudden your product is becoming popular. And you're going to do that with friends and family buys. And I have a rather unique approach. Now, there's a guy, and I'm really kind of dating myself, in the 80s and 90s. He was on the lecture circuit. His name is Joe Girard. He is the, quote, world's greatest salesman, as attested to by the Guinness Book of World Records. I love that. But this guy was a master salesman. And what Joe Girard observed, and this is pretty interesting. So, he had thousands of clients, very successful sales guy. And as his elderly clients would pass away, he would attend their funerals. And the first few he attended, he was like, gosh, there seems to be about the same number of people for all 3 of these people. And then he kept, over the years, he kept going to their funerals. And time again, he noticed that there was about 100 people that would be at these funerals. And it didn't matter if the guy was a super outgoing person, like an introvert, like a grandma, a grandpa. It was about 100 people. So he came up with this theory that the average person has a center of influence of about 100 people. Now, when I was doing consulting with doctors and they needed referrals, I would make them come up with a list in writing of 100 friends, family, ex-classmates, friends on Facebook, patients that became friends. I literally would not allow them to book consult number 2. I was a real stickler for this until I got their list of 100. And they would bitch and moan and say, I don't have 100. Guess what? They could always come up with 100. So you urgently need your initial base of 10 to 20 5-star reviews. Guess what you're going to do? Bum, bum, bum. You're going to make a very simple spreadsheet like this. I'm not going to share this with you because it's so basic. You can just do it in about 5 seconds on your own. Just a column for the person's name, their email, and then 3 columns. Have you emailed them yet? If yes, you write why. Have they purchased your product yet? If yes, you write why. And did they leave a review? And if not, then you just leave that blank. Like this guy, Robert Markey, didn't leave a review. And these are just made up emails, so don't try to email these people, please. You exercise number 1. No excuses, guys. Sorry. No excuses. You need to make a list of 100 people. But Ben, I don't know 100 people. Yes, you do. Go through your Facebook friends. Think of people that you graduated high school with, right? Think of people that you play golf with. Literally think of people that you see on the soccer field, you know, other soccer moms and soccer dads and your kid's soccer coach. Those are people that can leave you a review, right? You know, if any place where you frequent, like a Starbucks, there's probably 3 or 4 people there that would love to get your product for free. Any vendor that you give money to, they are a prospect for leaving you a review. I don't care what anybody says. I will not let anybody tell me they don't know 100 people. If you want to see Ben lose his temper, email me and say, Ben, I couldn't come up with a list of 100 people. Now, the only exception I will allow is if you live in Australia, okay, and you don't know 100 people in the U.S. Don't worry, I have something that you can use later, okay? But for everybody else, which is like 80-90% of you, this is homework assignment number 1. Deal? Okay, cool. Now, you're going to do 2 things, okay? So we're in the setup phase for this. You're going to create an ASM ranker link for your product, okay? And you can find this in the ASM Masters ASM bonus portal. Let me show you this real quick. Just in case you're not familiar, it looks like this. You guys all got the login. If not, contact Rapid Crush support. They're awesome. They'll get you your login. You're going to go to bonus access, and you look for the ASM ranker link right here. ASM ranker software. See that? And make it happen. Get it installed here. Okay. Now, if you're not technical, go to elance.com. and pay somebody literally $15 to install it for you. Don't let these little things stop you. Just, get it done. Make it happen. No excuses. You don't have to be technical to have somebody install it for you. You literally just need web hosting for $8 or $9 a month from HostGator, and then pay somebody to just deal with all this for you. Done. Okay? Now, let me deal with reality. You really can't use the ASM ranker link, right? Until what? Until your product cracks the top 20 pages in Amazon, because you essentially have to right-click on your listing, put that link into the ASM ranker software. And if you're not familiar, you just have to trust me. So we need to do something first, because when you have a brand new product, you literally can't create your ASM ranker link. So I've been suggesting that people should be using Amazon Seller Tools. This is what I do. One of the features in Amazon Seller Tools is number 18 here, called the Super URL Builder. I don't want to get into the intricacies of this because it's not applicable to this webinar, but essentially it keyword embeds your Amazon URL such that it makes Amazon think that people typed in dog leash, found your listing, and bought, okay? So, 2 phases here. Okay, you take a deep breath. Don't worry. This you don't want people to get overwhelmed. Very simple. You gotta build your super URL first, and then you're going to switch over as soon as your listing cracks the top 20 to the ASM ranker. The ASM ranker is way more powerful than the super URL. It's a genius bonus you guys got. You absolutely need to be using it. If you're not using the ASM ranker, you will not rank as fast as you could, okay? Now, if you don't even want to deal with a super URL, no problem. Just literally use the raw URL from Amazon with no trickery, okay? Do whatever you got to do. Get that thing ranking within the top 20, which I'll show you exactly how to do that, and then quickly swap it out, for the ASM ranker as fast as possible, okay? Now, here's what we're going to do that's going to get you your base of 15 to 20 5-star reviews. We're going to go old school. You're not going to use any fancy like Aweber or Constant Contact. Yeah, you're going to do what we call sweat equity. You're going to hand email one at a time your friends and family. Okay, remember that list of 100? Okay, here's a write or downer. Go ahead and write this down. you're going to have to contact 60 friends and family to net 20 reviews. That's a reality. Some of you say, well, I have to contact 100 to get 2 reviews. You don't have very good friends. I'm Irish Catholic, so we have a crap load of people that can hit up, right? So anyway, the reality is you need to contact about 60 people to net 20 reviews. At least that's what I found. And this is friends and family, by the way. We're going to send them a 4-step email sequence. Do not change this up. This works every time. There's a lot of psychology going on. It's a 4-day, 4-email sequence. You're going to, you want to personalize these emails. Don't do like a copy and paste of like 100 email addresses and blast it out in one email, because people can see that you've done that. It's very impersonal. We want them to make them think that they were important enough that we sought them out. Does that make sense? Here's email number 1. The subject line says, urgent, your help needed. Hi, Mary. Long time no talk. I hope everything is well with you. I have a big favor to ask. I've just launched a new product on Amazon.com that we had manufactured in China, and we're super excited about getting the word out there. It's a top quality blank, and I think you'll love it. This is where I need your help. Tomorrow, I'm going to email you a 100% off coupon that I'd like you to use to buy it on Amazon tomorrow. Don't worry, it won't cost you a thing. I'll even reimburse you for shipping if they charge you for it. As an aside, by the way, some really, really cheap people, even though you're giving it to them for 100% off, will send you their invoice for freaking $3. But anyway, whatever, right? We want the reviews. I desperately need your awesome review for our Amazon.com listing. Okay, look at the verbiage. We're not saying 5-star. I need your awesome review for our Amazon.com listing. Make sure you don't say 5-star review. That is clearly against terms of service, and frankly, probably the word awesome is, but hey. I'm contacting my closest friends and family, and I'm asking that everyone buy it tomorrow, all on the same day, to see if this crazy experiment, we always use that word, by the way, because it's an involvement word, right? Hey, Mary, I want you to be involved with my crazy Amazon experiment, right? It's super engaging. It helps people kind of get committed to the marketing process. Anyway, we want to see if this crazy experiment can get us a higher ranking in Amazon. I will, of course, keep you posted on if my crazy experiment worked or not in the coming days. Anyway, look for my email with the special link and 100% off coupon code to arrive bright and early tomorrow morning. If you can make sure to purchase the product tomorrow, that would be awesome and really help me out. Now, please type in, why do you think we are kind of coordinating everyone and building up excitement to all buy in the same day? Okay, please type in your answer. Sales velocity. Bingo. Yep. To start a ranking. Yep. Rank quicker. Bingo. A rush. Yes. This is going to be your first wave. It's going to be like, like in the Olympics and track and field. Everyone's on a starting block and bang, they're off to the races, okay? Now, here's what's going to happen. Now, you guys have to trust me, okay? Now, remember, these are friends and family. And I got emails like this. Hey, Ben, I'm happy to do it. Can you send me a link to the product right now so I know I'm getting the correct one? I wrote, sure, no problem. I'm actually going to have everyone buy it all on the same day on Wednesday so Amazon sees a spike in our sales. I'll send along the juicy details tomorrow. Thanks again for helping out. Much appreciated. And Julie wrote, sounds like a plan. Best of luck on this new venture. Now, do not give out your Amazon URL to friends and family. I had my brother, he got actually pissed at me. He goes, dude, come on. What's the name of the product? I want to check it out. Okay, guys, why don't you want to give them the link in that teaser email? Go ahead and type in the reason. Exactly. Kills conversion. This is the exact opposite. This would be all of a sudden Amazon would see 100 people that visited your page but didn't buy. Okay, that's the exact opposite of what we want. So we want to build up, we want to tease them. Don't tell them your brand name. We want to build up that anticipation. Now check this out. We're gonna really tease and titillate them to the point where they don't know what's going on. Now, this email we said, hey, tomorrow you're going to be part of this crazy experiment, but guess what? We're not going to even reveal it the next day. We call this the double T's. And guys, just have to trust me, this works. The subject line is, by the way. This has huge open rate. By the way, these like urgent, your help needed, by the way. You know, this is like a soap opera with these open loops. It drives them crazy. It's like, hey, coming tomorrow. So here's what you write. Hey, Mary, after sending out yesterday's email to friends and family, we had several friends email back wondering why we didn't provide the Amazon link. Bum, bum, bum. So let me briefly explain the game plan. I'm actually going to have everyone buy it on the same day, on Thursday now, so that Amazon sees a spike in our sales all happening in one day, because my theory is that doing so will bump us in the Amazon search results and give us a fighting chance. Then if we've earned a 5-star review, that will help big time. Notice the verbiage, if we've earned a 5-star review. What are we implying? Give us a freaking 5-star review, right? I'll be providing a special link for everyone to use tomorrow morning, so be looking for the 100% off coupon to arrive, and it should say bright and early, not height and early. Below is a copy of yesterday's email in case you missed it. Thanks again. Any questions, hit me up. And then, so what have we done? We've loaded the gun, we've cocked the gun, and bam! So here's what it sounds like. The subject line, here's the link. Hey, Julie, enclosed is a link to our product on Amazon. For those of you interested in the free product and doing an awesome Amazon review for us, here's a link. Please only use this link. It will take you directly to our Amazon listing and will help us rank better than if you try to search Amazon directly. Now, this is where you insert the super URL and or the ASM ranker link right there, okay? A favor, can you take care of this today? I'm trying to get everyone to buy today so Amazon sees a spike in sales, blah, 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 blah. Use this 100% off coupon code. That's where you enter the coupon code. And by the way, before we end today, I'm going to show you exactly, step by step, how to make a 100% off coupon code in Amazon. I don't want anything holding you guys back from success. And I'm going to be providing these slides. And by the way, you're also getting... Guys, you guys owe me big time here. I've also provided the swipe file of all these emails, so you don't have to write these down or anything, okay? That will be with the replay. This works. You've teased them. You've emotionally involved them. They're friends and family, so they're super curious. Now, let me give you a ninja trick. If you guys share this outside of ASM Masters, you're in trouble. We call this the sales multiplier. Now, you only use this whenever you get an enthusiastic reply like this. So, like in other words, this is not sent to all 60 or 100 of your friends. Only when and this is an actual email I got from Julie. Hey, I just made my purchase. No reimbursement needed, but thanks. I was planning to write my stellar review as soon as it arrives. Should be started. Good luck. Right? So they're pumped for you. Okay, this is magic. This is magic. We send what we call the sales multiplier, and it looks like this. Tell your friends, awesome, thanks. Do you know 3 or 4 friends that would also like to get this product for free today? We need their reviews. Would you mind forwarding them the Amazon link and a coupon code? And tell them if they buy it today, they can get it for free, no strings attached. Just tell them to leave us a review, that's all. Here's the Amazon link and coupon code. Thanks again. Now, I did this. My cousin, people like own this project. Like, she was so like gung-ho that she made damn sure 3 or 4 of her hairdresser friends bought the product like that day. She got on them, made sure they left these incredible 5-star reviews. And that's why you only want to send this to the enthusiastic, email replies. And now keep in mind, this is not like. So like here in the States, we have something called MLM. These guys that like say, hey, I have this great business opportunity. And then you got to sit through like a 1-hour spiel about Amway, right? And like, you're just like, good God, get me out of here. Where's the nearest window to jump out of, right? This is not like that because you're giving away an awesome, high-quality product for free. So they're going to be pumped to get it, and they are going to want to share this with their friend, okay? So, don't be like shy about spreading the word about your product. So as I said, to make things easier, I'm providing a swipe file of these word-for-word emails for you, and they'll be found with the webinar replay. Real quick, any questions? Maggie wrote, LOL, I hate MLM. Oh, Maggie, maybe you too, like me, have sat through many a spiel, right? You know, like it always starts with a vague, I have a great business opportunity that can change you and your, you and your family's life. Let's see. So Diane wrote, aren't some people goofy enough to mention something about the product being free in a review? You know, so what? You know, if they did, you know, I mean, you're not doing anything wrong, but you know, that's what I call one of those made-up objections. You know, I've never had that happen, and you're kind of making up something or like worrying about something that probably hasn't actually happened to you. So I would not worry about that kind of stuff. And the Timothy wrote, don't they ask what the product is? Oh, absolutely. And that's why I say, I'll share the juicy details with you tomorrow. Because if you tell them, they're going to look it up, and that'll kill your on-page conversion rate. Connie wrote, thank you. Thanks, Connie. Let's see. Thanks for all the thank yous. I'm gonna skip those, but I really love it. And you know, by the way, I always say this because you know, I love shout-outs in the ASM Masters group. So, you know, if you guys like this webinar, please, it lets Jason Wilson know that they were smart to pay me good money to teach you guys, and it'll encourage them to hopefully continue. So, you know, please, if you like what I'm sharing, I love the shout-out, and I do read those. I can't always respond to all of them, but all right, let's see. Okay. Babe wrote, then send it back. No, they're not going to send back the product. Okay, you're going to give them 100% off coupon. They're going to buy the product because, here, let me just show you why. Very important that you don't just like send it to them or something like that. Here, let me just show you something. Bluetooth wireless speaker. All right, check this out. Here's what you want to see here. Hold on a second. Sorry. When they buy it, even using a coupon, it'll say, hold on a second. See this where it says verified purchase? Verified purchase. If you just send it to them and have them send it back to you, it'll look like a fake review. So you always want them to purchase it using your 100% off coupon or $1 coupon or whatever, right? So it says verified purchase. It just makes those reviews look way more legit. All right, does that make sense? All right. Hyacinth Allen says, but how much product do you give away with this process? Well, if you want, you know, 20 5-star reviews, you'd be giving away 60 products, right? And if you don't have that much inventory, then you have to give enough away to get whatever reviews that you think you're going to need. Again, I don't want to teach you some line of bull here. I'm teaching you what works in the real world. I believe that if you really want to increase your on-page conversion rate, that you really need anywhere from 15 to 25-star reviews. And you know, we all have our different points of view here. You know, Jason tends to think that you don't need that many before you can kick in other stuff. This is just my comfort level. So yeah, I believe that you need a good base of 5-star reviews that'll help your on-page conversion rate. That on-page conversion rate, you know, once that goes up, that helps your ranking. And then when you add a layer of the daily velocity, then that's how you rank a product, in my opinion. What about the foreign ASMers from Germany? Yeah, I already covered that. I'm going to teach you guys what you guys can do a bit later on this webinar. I've solved that problem for you, but you're not going to be able to do this because you probably don't know 100 people in the States, right? AJ, yeah, I just answered that question about how many units to give away. So the ratio is this. Now, this is only with friends and family. If you want 20 reviews, you're going to have to contact, or rather, give away 60 products. Okay? You know, maybe you have really good friends and family that aren't quite as lazy as mine, but I found that's how many I have to give away to, you know, get them to freaking leave me that review. Mary already answered the question about, you know, if you don't have 100 people in the States, I'm going to show you exactly what to do. All right. Jack says, Ben, I hope there's another way for a couple reasons. I doubt if I have 100 friends and family. Uh-oh. Jack, did you dare to say that to me? Did you not hear what I said earlier? I am merciless when I hear that line of crap. No, you do have 100 friends and family. All right, so if you have 20, and that's it, you know, you've been living in a cave, fine. Contact all 20, and you're going to have to hound them to leave those reviews. And if you're not comfortable with that, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, how else are you going to get those reviews? Well, I do have another way, but either way, why wouldn't you go friends and family? I mean, unless they hate you or something, you know, then that's a problem I can't solve, Jack. All right. Okay, Stephanie says, I've already tapped my friends and family for Amazon bucks. All right, we're going to have to use method B that I'll be teaching later. You guys are funny. Okay, Doug says, I'm sure someone has thought of this, but why don't we create a group to act as friends and family? Amazon's wise to that. They will just ban all of your, you know, all those reviews because it's just too much of a footprint. That's why even within ASM Masters, you guys don't want to leave reviews for each other ever. It can get you banned. And you know, just why wouldn't you do it this way? You know, why are all these objections coming in? This is the way. Literally, like the only objection I will accept is if you live, you know, outside the U.S. and you don't have some friends and family. Okay, let's say you literally don't, I don't know, you just, you know, you like legitimately don't know 100 people, which I have never found that to be the case. When I've heard that objection for 15 years now, and when I call them to the mat and make them dig deep, they can come up with 100. But let's say you are just a monk, and you know you had a vow of silence for the last 20 years. Fine, take the monks. You know somebody, anybody, and ask them to buy it for free. Remember, this is a good product they're getting for free, and leave you a review. Okay, something's better than nothing. All right, I'm going to move on here. And I'm kind of beating you guys up a little bit because I care about you guys. I want you guys to kick some butt. All right, now, as I said, this is like a submarine, so do not move from compartment number 1 to phase 2 until you have that base of reviews. It's like one builds on the other, builds on the other, okay? No excuses. Make it happen. So phase 2 now in the submarine here is we want to maintain this momentum by turning on Amazon-sponsored ads, okay? Now, it's a 1-2 punch. Now, this is this is the other thing that's going to freak everybody out, but oh well. You know, I'm showing you what I found works really, really well. After you get this momentum burst, right, from friends and family, and by the way, the momentum burst and the ranking burst is just a side benefit. What's the real reason that we're doing it? All right? Just like go ahead and type in, what's the real reason that we're doing it? For reviews, right? Exactly, for those reviews. The happy side benefit is now your ranking, right? Then you swap out that link for the ASM ranker at that point, right? Okay, good. Now, we want to maintain that momentum, right? It's like you've almost had built up this pent-up demand. You're starting to move up the ranking. Now those reviews are flowing in. Now we want to turn on those Amazon ads, okay? And you're going to lower your price simultaneously. Now, before you turn into a lynch mob on me, because you're like, Ben, you're making me give away some product to friends and family. Yep. And now you're making me lower my price. Yep. Yep. Stick with me. Stick with me. I mean, what's the end game? The end game is to make a whole lot of money, yes? So in any business, the reality is you have to spend money on marketing to build that business. I've never found a business where, the clients come falling out of the sky into my lap and I become rich. I've never found that business. If you find that business, please email me. I'd love to get in that business. But we do have to spend some money on some marketing, right? Because you're starting a new business. After you've gotten this 10 to 15 reviews, your listing is gaining traction in the rankings. Turn on Amazon sponsored ads, okay? And just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, these are like those little ads that appear sometimes on the sidebar of Amazon, but oftentimes as of late on the bottom, and they say sponsored. Now, this is kind of a way to buy your way to page 1, right? You can kind of circumvent the ranking process, and if you bid high enough and your conversion rate is high enough, you can literally kind of tack on your listing onto the bottom of page 1 with Amazon sponsored ad. ads, right? Okay. Now, why should you use Amazon sponsored ads at this point? Well, number one, they're targeted ads, all right? Now, here's a writer downer. Now, remember I said, what's the second ranking factor? What's the second ranking factor? Real quick, type it in. The second ranking factor is conversion rate. Okay, here's the thing to write down. Amazon ads tend to have a higher conversion rate. Why? Because people are specifically looking for that product, and they're only going to click on that ad if they're interested. So as a general rule of thumb, almost always, you're using Amazon ads will get you a higher conversion rate, which again, artificially at least makes your product listing look like it has a higher conversion rate, right? The other good thing about Amazon sponsored ads is you only pay a fee if someone clicks on an ad. It's called cost per click, CPC. So you run an ad and you bid, let's say, I don't know, 80 cents or 60 cents, whatever, so that when somebody clicks on your Bluetooth wireless speaker ad, only at that point are you charged. And remember, these are very hot prospects. Okay? Now, stick with me here. Now, ultimately, you can do what you want. It's your business, your choice. But if you also lower your price significantly to like just slightly above break even, see, what they don't tell you in ASM is that, in an e-commerce site, in the real world, now I'm talking mom-pa kettle America, prices is important. There's a reason why Walmart is one of the largest, retail organizations on earth. If you've ever read the Everything Store about Amazon, they talk about how Amazon got big because they offered the lowest prices on books, and it shocked like the publishing world. But so both, arguably two of the greatest American e-commerce and retail success stories were built based on being price competitive. So your pricing really is very important. So all things being equal, if your listing is optimized, like you're learning how to do, if it looks good, it now has 5-star reviews, and yet if it costs the consumer half the price compared to the competition, guess what? They're going to buy your product. Now, make sure you hear me. This is only a short-term, very, temporary ploy, and it's optional. It's optional, okay? I don't do this with every product. But sometimes if I'm not seeing the traction that I want, bam, I'm going to lower that price because, again, people don't make decisions in a vacuum, right? They're looking at the page one listings, then they're looking at the ads on the bottom. If I have just as many reviews or lots of 5-star reviews, great product images, but mine is significantly lower in price, you're going to get much higher on-page conversion rate. So check this out. It's just, again, you have to look at this, not what this is going to cost. What are you going to make? What's the end game once you're ranking? So when an Amazon shopper sees your ad, if you lower your price, you're going to be lower versus the competition. They're more likely to buy, it should say at the lower, they're more likely to buy at a higher rate. Like in other words, it's going to increase your daily sales velocity that much more. Lower price, again, causes people to buy, which will help your on-page conversion rate. So bam, so we got daily sales velocity, we've now improved on-page conversion rate, and guess what? Those people, because now more people are buying, your reviews will increase because a percentage of those will leave reviews. Does that make sense? Again, this is not a 100% rule. Okay? This is if you want to be very aggressive with your rankings, and I tend to be very aggressive with my marketing. So in one fell swoop, with this one tactic in phase 2, you've ticked all the boxes to ranking. Daily sales, conversion, and reviews. Now, if you want to play with something, now this is in violation of Amazon terms of service. So if Amazon slaps you on the wrist, do not write me an email. All right, because I'm warning you right now. And they've also gone to a character restriction on titles, so you'd have to even shorten this up further. But as an optional ploy, use at your own risk. When you lower your price significantly, why not turn that into an advertising benefit? So again, with the new kind of title restriction, you might write insane sale only X dash, and then you need to put your normal headline. You wouldn't be able to do all those characters now. But anyway, again, use at your own risk. All right, so we have phase one. We hit up friends and family. Why? For that base of reviews, and we got a ranking boost. Then we move to phase two, where we turn on the Amazon ads to continue that ranking boost, right? And we optionally lower the price to get more sales, more conversions, and more reviews. Now, in the middle of this, we're going to take a look at your conversion rate. Why? Conversion is very important. If your conversion rate is poor, you can do all these tricks that I'm teaching, and your ranking will not stick. So if your conversion rate is good, you're going to rank faster, and your ranking will stick. Okay? You'll make more money. Now, I want to walk you through the math. This is the most important reason of all. If you're spending money on Amazon ads, right? Now, let's just for sake of math, let's keep it easy. Let's say you're spending $1 a click, right? If you're spending $1 a click, and you have a 5% conversion rate, what that means is for every 100 people that clicked the ad and visited your page, how many bought? 5 people bought. So you make 5 sales per 100 clicks on that ad. Okay? Now, if you're able to just improve your on-page conversion rate to 10%, you make double the sales for the exact same cost. It doesn't cost you any more to get 100 of these visitors, but now instead of 5 sales per 100 visitors, you're getting 10 sales per 100 visitors. This is why we say that you want to obsess over conversion rate. Okay? So I would also make the case, and this is something that I've been teaching since I started my Amazon Fast Track coaching program. In the early days in particular of a product launch, conversion rate is important. Okay? So anyway. This begs the question, Ben, how do we find our conversion rate? Now, you're going to have a copy of these slides, so you don't have to jot this stuff down, furiously like a madman, because you're going to have this. But in Amazon Seller Central, click on Reports, click on Business Reports, and then you want to click on this one. You want to click on by ASIN. Okay? And I'm going to show you my actual conversion rates. Pretty freaking good, right? Look at that. 24.81% for that product, 24.91% for that product, 13%. That's not bad. That one can be improved. So let me show you how this works, because I really struggled with the weird vernacular that Amazon used. Amazon Seller Central for sure was coded by some engineering geeks, because they use very challenging to understand terms, don't they? Okay, so unit session percentage, write that down. Unit session percentage is what shows your conversion rate. Okay, not that page views percentage, not session percentage, unit session percentage. Now, what is a session? Go ahead and look at, here, I'm gonna take this. Okay, see this column right here, sessions, this one right here? See where it says 6,888, 3652, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what are sessions? Okay, sessions equal visits. So for this listing of mine, in this time frame, we had 6,888 visitors that checked out my listing. How many of those bought? 897. So if you divide 897, so how many people visited, okay, divided by how many actually ordered, that's how you come up with this. So 13% of the people that visited my page bought. And you can play with the math and you'll see. So this one, 3,652 visited, 906 bought, see almost the same amount bought. So if you divide the number of people that visited over what bought, now you have a very nice conversion rate of almost 25%. Okay, so that's how the math works. Make sense? All right. Very important that you understand this math. This is one of those slides that when you download the download packet, when they post the webinar replay, you might even want to just print this particular slide out. So again, you're going to be really starting to look at the unit session percentage, aka your conversion rate. You're going to be looking at that in the midst of right after you turn on those Amazon ads, when you lower your price, and you're going to just kind of keep an eye on this in those weeks that you're doing that, okay? Does that make sense? All right. Now, that begs the question, Ben, you're telling us to obsess over conversion rate. What if it's low? All right, let me give you an answer for that. 3 best ways to improve your conversion rate right out of the gate. Lower your price. I'm sounding like I'm beating a dead horse. Why? Well, because price influences conversion rate, right? That's why we use the temporary price lowering tactic in the early days, so we get some traction. The second best way, again, these are like 80-20 things. The second best way is to improve your 7 product images, okay? And I'll share with that in a moment, and improve your main image. And I'm going to show you how to do that specifically. All right. Improving your 7 product images in my testing holds the greatest sway in conversion rate. So let me just bounce over to Amazon. Let's just because I seem to be using wireless Bluetooth speaker for some reason as the example lately. All right, so let me just blow this up a bit. Let's take a look at this. Now, as best as I can tell, this is the order of priority that the average consumer goes through when they visit a listing. They glance at the headline, but they typically go right, but they typically go right through the pictures, okay? Just like this, boom, boom, boom. They look at the bullets, and then what do? Go right down to the reviews. And by the way, having a video review in position number 1 is ninja, because they don't allow us, if we're FBA, right, to put a video in our listing. So what's the second best? Get a video review here and vote it up into position number 1. But anyway, so and the least influential in all my testing, and I've been kind of pounding the tables of this almost since the spring, is the product description. That's because there's just too much eye candy that kind of floats around in the middle of the page, okay? So in order of priority, I would say the headline initially, but the greatest sway is in the images, okay? And obviously reviews, but okay, so we're talking about improving these 7 images. Now, but Ben, they allow 9 images. I know, but most people don't know that there's this gallery box here. So I stopped wasting any money. I just do 7 images, okay? Most people don't even know if you click on this that it gets big, right? Okay, always keep in mind, we're selling to Ma and Pa kettle in middle America. You're not selling to more sophisticated buyers like you and I that are very comfortable with computers. I'm a big tennis fan, and my tennis coach said that his mother still unplugs her computer from the wall because she's worried that viruses will sneak in through the wall and infiltrate her computer. Yeah, that's who we're selling to. We're not selling to us'ns, we're selling to thems. So yeah, let's keep it real simple. And so let me show you this. So let me show you some bad versus good images. I can do this very, very, very quickly. Okay, this one, not a bad image, but why the hell aren't they telling me their marketing story with more images? This one, they're selling a $60 product, and it's like they got all dressed up with nowhere to go. They just show me one boring image. This can be dramatized so easily with better images, right? Okay? Now, let me give you some rules of thumb. I'm very adamant about this, and that is that your images should tell your marketing story, i.e., you have 7. Look at it like a TV commercial storyboard. So your 7 product images should literally read in logical order as if you're, soon to film a TV commercial. And I call this the index card trick. This is the best method that I've ever come up with. It's kind of caveman, but here's what I do. I get a stack of white index cards. And what you want to do is you want to write down every single benefit about your product that you can think of. Every feature, every benefit, just get it out of your head. 1 benefit per index card. Fill up 20 or 30 of them
and then let them cool off for a night. Wake up the next morning, grab your cup of coffee or tea, and you're going to winnow those down to the best 7. So you got this stack of 30, you're going to winnow those down to the best 7 benefits. Then you're going to flip over the first one, and on the back, you're going to write down what image would best represent the text benefit on the front. And then you do that for the second one, the third one. So why 7? Well, right there is your TV commercial storyboard. Then you're going to order them in logical order of how a TV commercial would read. So like in other words, if one of your best benefits is lifetime warranty, would you ever start off a TV commercial, let's say for a brand new product going, we offer a lifetime warranty. Oh, and by the way, the product happens to be blah, blah, blah. No, so lifetime warranty would probably go last, right? So there's a logical flow of these index cards. So let me just show you some, really good examples of this. So main product image. Now watch this. Here's the formula. Watch this. Image, text benefit. Image, text benefit. Image, text benefit. Image, text benefit. Now this is image. Now this is a benefit because it's just showing what you get out of the box, and it shows it in use. So what's the formula? Image, text benefit. Image, text benefit. So if I were going to read this like a TV commercial, it would be like, introducing the Anchor Classic Portable Wireless Bluetooth Speaker. Up to 20 hours of playtime, day and night, right? Your mobile audio delivered. You can do it from the cafe, the home, parties, or outdoors. Broad compatibility, whether you're on an Android, iPhone, iPad, or PC. 4-watt driver and bass pump out full high-def sound. Here's what you get inside the box, and very stylish to use, right? So, I'm kind of having fun with this, but you guys get the point. Let's look at another one. Okay, this is a $155 product. Now remember I showed you this one. This is crap, right? And you might think, well, how do we increase the sexy metric for this one? I mean, it's just a freaking deadbolt. Well, here's a good example. Check this out. Shows it in use. Text benefits right there. Here's a comparison chart. More text benefits. More features and benefits. And in their case, because they're Vendor Central, they even get a video. We can't do that. But see, I mean, they did a pretty good job for what was really kind of a boring product, right? Here's another good one. Check this out. See that? Image text benefit, what you get, how it's featured. And they could probably even flesh this out a bit more, but I mean, look at, they're doing a good job with this. Here's another one that I like. Text benefit, showing what you get, text benefit, showing it in use, right? So I think you guys get the point. 7 images. And by the way, you don't have to spend gobs of money. Like if you're really tight on money, let's say that you have this image and you're like, but Ben, how do I increase my images without having to spend more money on the graphic designers? No problem. You would just write a text benefit with an arrow. Like, I don't know, I'm just making this up. A lifetime warranty. We guarantee that the Comfort Master pillow will last for a lifetime of travel. And I point an arrow here that says, high test, blah, 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 acrylic, right? So you can use your existing images, but just find a way to tack on a way to tell your marketing story, either with text or with better images. The type of images that literally drive me freaking nuts, I'll show you ones that drive me crazy. I'm not picking on anybody here, but let's do probiotic. And I swear, if this is like your product, I'm not picking on anybody here. I don't know. Let me just open up a couple of these real quick. Okay, this drives me insane. Okay, yeah, give me like 5 different angles of the freaking box. That's really going to sell me. Would you ever do that, like on a TV commercial? No. Waste. Okay, here we go. Great example. Thank you for the front image. Oh, hey, there's another angle of the back. Hey, there's a side angle. That's very helpful. Hey, there's a top angle of the freaking bottle. There's another angle of the bottle, and yet another picture of the bottle. Yay! I I know, that's just my opinion. It drives me nuts when I see that. So redundant, so much wasted opportunity, right? It just shows a lack of creativity. I'd much rather them do a close-up of the pill and go, inside is pharmaceutical, pharmaceutical grade, yada, yada. Something, anything to increase that sexy metric in those images. Anyway, this holds tremendous sway in increasing your on-page conversion rate. Now, this is just a nice example of like what the index card trick would look like. So like the benefit, if we're selling like some kind of a spray here, it would be like keeps car tires looking shiny and clean 5 times longer. And so like in my mind at least, I can picture like a guy who is spraying the tire cleaner on her tire and there's like sparkles, right? So text benefit and then just brainstorm what image would best represent that. And, in essence, you're doing almost like a TV storyboard, okay? So I think I beat that dead horse enough, right? Now, the third way, improve your main image. Guys, the main image is what wins the click, right? It wins the click. So since we're using wireless Bluetooth speaker, the very front line in a marketing war happens if you win the click. So as I just scan down this one's going to win the click. See, you can have the greatest listing, the most optimized listing, the greatest images, the most incredible benefits, but if nobody ever clicks on the freaking listing because your main image stinks, it's all for naught. Would you agree with that? So one way to dramatically increase your on-page conversion rate is to win the click, okay? So let me just teach you a little trick that I use, because you might wonder, well, how do I know if my main image needs to be improved to win the click? I call this the mock-up versus the competition trick. Now, I know enough about Photoshop to be dangerous, but I'll just show you. This is what I do. So let's say this is my main product image here, okay? I'll take a screenshot of the sponsored ads. And I'll just kind of like play with it and see how my main image looks versus the competition. And I just use common sense to say, okay, if this is what people are going to see, does my image stand out over this one? In this case, I would say absolutely. Okay, see how this works? And then I tend to do the same thing with the page one listing. So I do the exact same thing. I just drag it over here. I'm just kind of playing with main image variations to see, hey, am I going to win the click? So I would kind of shrink it down and I'd say, okay, yeah, see how that pops? Even with this small view that we have? Keep in mind, that first image will always be a thumbnail. That blue kind of pops, okay? So this is literally what I do when I'm setting up a listing. I just drag the image into the page one rankings, and I kind of play with different images, and sometimes I can't tell if one's better or not. So I call down my wife. I say, hey, what do you think? And she goes, I like this one. And guess what? If it's not mine, it's like back to the drawing board. Or I'll hit up a friend. And I do the same thing with sponsored ads. And that's a ninja trick, guys. Ninja trick. All right. So phase one, done. We've sealed the door. We got our 10 to 20 reviews. Phase two, we turn on sponsored ads, right? And we optionally might have lowered our price to get even more traction. So we've got that started. We seal the compartment. We move to phase three, which was what? Obsessing over the on-page conversion rate. If it's too low, then there's 3 fast, easy things you can do. You can consider lowering your price if you didn't. You can improve your main image, and then you can improve the inner images. Now we're moving on to phase 4, which is once we're seeing real traction in the rankings, I would say by page 3 or by page 2. This is when we're going to gradually increase our price, and there's no rule of thumb. Everyone wants a specific black and white answer. I don't have one. It's just kind of, I tend to just get a feel for how something's going. If I'm ranking very, very quickly, then I'll be less afraid to raise my price. If it's been a tough road, I'm going to be a bit more wary to raise my price just yet. But right around this time when I'm around page 3 or 2, this is when I usually implement my $1 Facebook Amazon marketing funnel, okay? So if you haven't already seen it, it's called How to Get a Hot New Release in Your First 4 Days on Amazon. And I suggest that you watch this when you're ready for it, okay? But let me just briefly show you what this marketing funnel looks like. It works really well. It typically starts with a Facebook fan page that's niche for the product. So in this mythical example, if we're selling like a kitchen type product, I make a brand new Facebook fan page called Chef Georges Louis. I don't know, he sounds like a chef, doesn't he? Chef Georges Louis. And this is pretty formulaic. This is the formula that, at least for me, works best. Want top-rated silicone spatulas for only $1, normally $19.95, insane launch sale, 1 day only 50 available, expires tonight. Now, once they click on this ad, and we are leveraging the Amazon name, okay, then they see this landing page. Now, Jason and Wilson have been wonderful in spending their money to get HTML templates made for you guys. I didn't have those when I implemented this. I now use them, by the way, but I was using lead pages. So, if you don't know how to do HTML, then you might want to consider using lead pages. And, I don't get a commission for any of the services that I share with you. I feel it's a conflict of interest, so I almost make it a point not to get not to get commissions for that stuff. So, you can use that, or you can use the HTML files. We are leveraging the Amazon brand here. Is this against the terms of service? I'm sure it is, but oh well, because Amazon has such trust. Amazon insane launch deal, and it says 4 silicone spatula set, only $1, free shipping. Normally $19.95, only 50 available, expires today. This is the reason why I copy. This is, again, this works so well, I haven't changed it. Yes, you read correctly, because you saw this ad, this quality 4 silicone spatula sets, only $1 with free shipping. This is available today only to promote our new Amazon launch. Only 50 available, free shipping for Prime members. Act now. Get coupon code. Now, the way that this works is, it looks like all they have to do is click this, and they're shown the coupon code. In reality, it's a disguised, hidden opt-in form. So in lead pages and the HTML templates, you click on Get Coupon Code, this pop-up thing says, okay, enter your email to be emailed the coupon code. So this lets me build an email list. Then once somebody enters their email, they're redirected to this rather ugly-looking thank you page. Once again, I was using lead pages. Only this time, for the first time, are we giving them the link. This way, we do not ruin our on-page conversion rate with junk traffic. They have to jump through 2 hoops at this point to get the link, right? So it says, congrats, your coupon code has been emailed to you. Only 50 available, expires today. We give them the coupon code. Then we make it brain dead easy. Step 1, click on the link below. Step 2, add the item to your cart, right? Step 3, on the checkout page, use coupon code blah, 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 and click apply. So only for the first time ever now are we giving them this link. Quiz question. Please type in, what link are we using here? What link are we using there, real quick? Exactly, ASM Ranker link, exactly. See, you guys are like the advanced students, right? Yep. And then I just threw in this one also saying, hey, would you like to receive more free or nearly free deals on Amazon like this? Click here to join my Amazon review club. It's free to participate. And I just, drove them to an opt-in form again. This is completely optional here. Keep things simple, by the way. Keep it as simple as possible. If these little things concern you, if you're worried about them, just streamline it. Almost always in business, the simplest solution is the best solution. So if all this stuff freaks you out, keep it simple. Run an ad, just like this. This is about the most simple landing pages it gets, and then send them to some kind of thank you page that gives them the coupon code and the link. Keep it simple. It's much more important that you implement than get bogged down in the technology. This can all be hired out for dirt cheap from, you know, like coders like in Bangladesh or India that can knock these things out in, you know, for like $20. Done. Problem solved, right? Okay. I'm going to get a bit more into the Facebook marketing funnel on our third and final group coaching session on December 1st. So I'm not going to take any questions about that today. All right, guys. So these 3 steps work, knock on wood, every single time we launch a new Amazon product. And I am absolutely certain of one thing. Things will be changing. So that's why I'm constantly testing, tweaking, and evolving, and frankly why you never can stand still in this Amazon business. One of my favorite Will Rogers quotes is, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. So anyway, I'm going to skip the Q&As for now because we have more to cover. You guys are going to love this. Let's go ahead and take a stretch here real quick. And grab a sip of water real quick because we've been going like an hour and a half already, and I still have some really good stuff to share, and I don't want you to I want you guys to feel fresh here. So stretch, stand up, kind of shake out the arms a little bit. I'm going to join you. All right. You guys ready? All right. Let's get rocking here. You're going to love this. How to get a ton of 5-star reviews. This is the solution for my international friends that don't have 100 people in the States to even buy the product. This is a solution for the people in the USA who say that nobody likes them and no one's going to buy their product and leave them a review. This solves every single objection you could possibly throw at me. I'm sure some creative people will throw more weird objections and like situations at me, but okay, so this will solve 99% of them, okay? I'm just teasing you guys. So this will give you a flood of reviews. This will also boost a listing. By the way, this will revive an old listing on Amazon. I know some of you are in that situation. And it can also build your VIP review club that you can use with future Amazon products that you release. Yeah, does all that. Check this out. Craigslist.org. Okay. Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through this. Now, for my international friends, when I visited one of my business partners in London, I said, you know, it seems like people like in Europe and around the world, they don't, you know, we mentioned Craigslist, but like nobody outside of the U.S. really uses Craigslist, right? And he goes, yeah, you know, he didn't really understand what Craigslist was. Of course, he had heard of it. And when I showed him what it was, he kind of got it. It's basically a butt-ugly kind of classified ads section that's extremely popular here in the USA, okay? But it basically is like an online kind of classified ad section, and there's one for every major city in the United States. This is one of those things that's been chugging along, super, super high traffic. People trade, they buy, they sell. It's literally a classified ad section. Now, most cities have a freebie section on Craigslist. The big idea here is very simple. You're going to post something in the freebie section. You're going to tell them that you just started selling a tea kettle on Amazon and that you need unbiased reviews in exchange for a free product. And then you're going to ask them to PM you for the private Amazon coupon. Number one, you're not allowed to post links that are promotional, so they would ban you if you posted a link anyway. Number two, you'd have to be insane to post a link. Why? Because it would ruin your on-page conversion rate. Okay. And number three, you don't want to publicize your coupon code and your link anywhere because then people might post it on like Slick Deals and you'd lose all your inventory. So there's lots of reasons why you want to do it this way. So let me just show you how this works. So you just literally go to Craigslist.org, and what I'd recommend that some of you do is you click on first, see where it says on the right-hand side, it says U.S. cities. This is going to list some of the larger U.S. cities that have some of the most active Craigslist sites. Okay, pick one of them. That way you'll get more eyeballs. Then you're going to look for the middle section. It says for sale. And see the section that says free? Now this won't work on every Craigslist board. Okay, so I'm going to give you like a variation of this, and in fact, I have a whole other way to get reviews outside of Craigslist. But this will be quick and easy if you give this a try. So that's what you click on, and as you can see, this is what the free stuff listing looks like. Like this guy's giving away clean, used tennis balls. Okay, this other person is giving a free male guinea pig away. So anyway. You're going to go to the free section, and on the upper right-hand corner, you're going to click Post. All right? And this is an example, and please don't copy this. Just use this as a template. You're going to have a slide. But I would write free, brand new, tea kettle or kitchen kettle. And don't make this sound like neutered and sterile. You want this to be kind of sound legit and folksy. You don't want people to worry that it's a scam, because Craigslist is like a self-police kind of site, and they'll remove your listing. So it would sound like this. Hi, my name is Jennifer, and I just started manufacturing high-quality tea kettles that are the same quality you'd find in Williams-Sonoma. These are gorgeous. I'm going to start selling them on Amazon, and I'd like to offer 15 of them for free to some people in Atlanta in exchange for your honest review on Amazon. There's no catch, and no money is needed. If you're interested in getting my tea kettle for free in exchange for leaving an unbiased Amazon review, please email me. I will provide you with a 100% off Amazon coupon you can use. It's all handled through Amazon, so you know this is legit. I'm a small business and honestly need reviews to spread the word about how great our tea kettle is. That's why I'm doing this. The best way to do that is to let some local folks get one for free, try it out, and then post a review. The only thing that Amazon might charge you for is shipping. So it's preferable, boy, there's some typos here. So it's preferable that you're Amazon Prime member. That way you get free shipping. Any questions, please let me know. I only have 15 of these to give away for free, so only serious inquiries, please. Thank you. Now, do you think if your competition is this, do you think, and then you use a beautiful image of your tea kettle, do you think you're going to get some takers? Yeah. Right? Okay, now here's some suggestions and some warnings. Okay, Craigslist.org is self-policing. I've had postings removed for illogical, stupid reasons. Don't take it personal. Who cares? I mean, really, what have you lost? 5 minutes of your time to post something? And you may find better results if you target actually smaller cities where you can fly underneath the radar, like maybe skip the big cities. If you're finding that your listings are constantly removed by like overly, I don't know, people that are, trigger happy with the delete button. And also, I'll just mention this: if your listing keeps getting removed from freebies, fine, list it under the for sale section here, in the appropriate category, and then say, same thing, free tea kettle, yada yada yada. Okay, so either way works. Now, that is probably all that you would need to do if you live outside the U.S. to get your 10 to 20 reviews. Okay, if you wanted more reviews and you're in the U.S., this would be a fantastic way to do it. Now, here's another way. Now, between these two methods, this is all that you're going to need to do, is access Facebook groups or the plethora of discussion forums that are on the internet. And it's the exact same strategy. Okay, so let's say that I was going to be giving away a tea kettle so that I get reviews. I would literally type in, cooking into Facebook, and I would just literally post this exact thing right here: free, brand new tea kettle, right? I mean, you're not, if they delete your post, who cares? Next, there's about, 100 other, cooking-oriented, Facebook groups, and probably 1,000, cooking forums out there. So, all these objections that I get and the things that people are worried about, those are all in your imagination. They're stuff that you're just inventing because you're worried. But when you get out there in the real world, people are stoked to get a free tea kettle or your free product. You're giving them something for free. Don't don't ever think that you're imposing on people. I mean, you're doing something freaking awesome, So I would literally just edit that sample posting. And quite honestly, Craigslist is easy, but if you really want very passionate, good reviews, you're going to get way better reviews if you go after very targeted Facebook groups and forums, because these are people that are really into that topic. So let me give you an example. Literally, you just go to your Facebook page, type in the word, in this example, cooking, and you're going to get these things across the top that say all results, people, pages, groups. You want to click the groups button, okay? And ideally, sure, you can join closed groups, but there's, it's way faster and easier just to join a public group. Like here's one called the Cooking Corner SG. And so that means public. It means you don't have to be pre-approved. You can join. You can post. Who cares if they delete your post? Who cares? If they do, next. Go to the next public group and so on. There's even more very active forums out there. So so just type in the word niche forums. So in this case, cooking forums or yoga forums or weight loss forums or whatever, and you're going to find a gazillion of them. So like I just picked one at random. This is called Discuss Cooking. Look at this. This has 1,552 posts, 500 threads under food and cooking gear reviews. Do you think you might post it there and get some good feedback there? I mean, maybe they won't let you post it there, but the point is, look at this. Under 14,000 posts, new member introductions, 55,000 posts. This is a phenomenal way to get reviews. So in the real world here, guys, there's literally thousands of these groups, forums, hundreds of Craigslist sites. You could target it absolutely for free without spending a dime to get tons, literally hundreds of 5-star reviews if you wanted to. And as I said, in the real world, people love getting free, top quality products. So any objections that that's kind of tossing around in your brain of why this may not work, it's only due to your lack of experience of actually, getting out there and trying it. And the sky's the limit. I mean, this works, and the problem is going to be that too many people will want this free Amazon product. You'll get people saying, "Oh, I'm bummed I missed it," and that's why you want to say we only have X number of these to give away. Now, I want to mention this hidden benefit. I'm a big believer in building lists, because lists are assets that I can reuse in the future when I roll out additional products. So consider the secondary benefit that's also happening here, because you can use this method to simultaneously build your review club that can be reused for getting reviews in all your future products. So like in other words, you post on that Discuss Cooking forum, right? Right here. So somewhere, maybe you contact the admin and you say, "Hey, I want to offer this awesome free thing on Amazon. Here's a link. You can see it's legit, yada, yada, yada. Where can I post this?" And they tell you where to post it, okay? Well, you might get 50, 100 people in one day that will want your coupon code. Great. So, the other great thing about this is you don't have to give them out all on the same day. Remember, there's a 4-day cycle here, right? Remember that? 4-day waves. So you could send out 20 of them the first day, and then 20 the second day, 20 the third day, and so on. So you can also control that ranking methodology a bit more. But so all these people now have this real experience that they got a legitimate kick-ass tea kettle for you for free. If you then hit them up a week later saying, "Hey guys, would you like more of our future products like this for free in exchange for your awesome review? If so, add your email to the special list and you'll become a member of our VIP review club." Boom, you just turned one asset into a second asset, something that you can reuse every single time that you release a product. Okay? So now that I've solved your review getting issues once and for all, let me now show you how to create a 100% off coupon that you can use to put all these great tactics into action. Okay? So I'm going to go through this quick because you're going to have a copy of the slides. But the very first thing that you have to do is kind of weird, is we have to quote add the product into the promotional section. And so you'll like see what I mean when you do this. But so you click on this thing. Okay, first things first. You go to advertising and you click on the link that says promotions. That takes you to a screen that looks like the second graphic. And you're going to then click on manage your promotions. And here's what you do. You're going to click the button that says create a new product selection. And then you're going to click SKU list and click submit. And this is where you're then going to add the SKU of your product. Okay? Not the ASIN, the SKU. And then you're going to click submit. Now, if you don't know where to find your SKU, here's where to find it in Amazon Seller Central. And you know, it's a thing in a red box. So every product that you have has a merchant SKU that has been automatically created internally by Amazon. Okay? And that's what you paste in there. Now this will make more sense when you actually do it and you just follow along with these slides. Okay, now here, whoops, I want to explain something very important. I know we've been going almost 2 hours here. So this is where to really pay attention. The best way to create a 100% off coupon is not to do a % off coupon. Say what? Yeah, the best way to do a 100% off coupon is to actually do it as a $1 off coupon. Never do percentage off, because if you do percentage off, theoretically somebody could order like, you know, $200,000 worth of your product and then enter a 100% off coupon, and they'd get all that product for 200% off, because it's only, you know, well, yeah. So I think you guys see the risk of that. If you do $1 off, they can only enter the dollar amount. So even if they try to order $200,000, they're still only going to get whatever, you know, $22 off. All right. So you might as well always use the $1 off coupon instead. So here's how to do this. Again, you always go back to advertising, and then you click on promotions. And then see where it says money off? That's the type of coupon that we're going to do here. So you click the create button. All right. And so you set this to the buyer has to purchase at least one quantity. Now, see where it says purchase items? This is where there's going to be a drop box. And this is where now whatever item that you added in the first step will appear. So you select the item, let's say wireless Bluetooth speakers, and then you want to see where it says buyer gets. Make sure this says amount off in dollars. Now, if the product costs $34.60 and they're getting a 100% off coupon, what amount do we want to put in that box? Exactly, $34.60. You want to make it whatever the retail price is. You put it right in that box. Make sure it says applies to purchased items. Okay. And I always change the end date to the year 2020. And then it wants this weird like internal description and tracking ID. I almost always adhere to this kind of formula. I put the product name first, and then dash, and then I describe what the coupon is. So Bluetooth wireless speaker dash 100% off, or Bluetooth wireless speaker, you know, buy one get one free, or Bluetooth wireless speaker, whatever. Now, you want to check off where it says claim code. Critical. Make sure that you check off one redemption per customer. Otherwise, they can use your coupon code for 1,000 of your units, and then you're out of inventory, right? I suggest in the claim code box here, you have two choices. I like to type one in, so like I might do sale 9988, or you can click the suggested code button, and it'll automatically generate a code. Let me just give you a tip, though. It's very hard for people to discern a 0 from the letter O. So keep clicking the suggested code button whenever you see a 0 or an O, because you don't want that to be there. You also don't want L to be there as well either, because they might think it's a number 1. So I just keep clicking the suggested code button if a O, 0, an L, or a 1 is in there, because I want to avoid any any sort of confusion. Make sure that under claim code compatibility, you want to select exclusive. Let me explain what these mean. So exclusive means they cannot combine this coupon with some other coupon. So like in other words, if you had a free shipping coupon and you had a 100% off coupon, if you check off exclusive, they can only use one or the other. They can't use both. Now, unrestricted means, yeah, that they can combine coupons. As far as the first option, preferential, I do not know what that means. I think it has something to do with the order. Like if somebody uses this, they can use that, but they can't use this. And I've never explored that because I haven't had a need for it. Now, again, critical. By default, see where that giant alert red text says uncheck? Okay, by default, this is always checked off. You need to uncheck this thing that says detail page display text. I repeat, uncheck that. Why? If it's not unchecked, Amazon will publish your 100% off coupon code smack dab in the middle of your freaking listing. Not good. So make sure that's unchecked. That's saying we don't want any text that reveals our 100% off coupon code. All right? Now, it's that simple. That's how to create the coupon code. Now everyone knows how to do it. Now, let me give you worst case scenario. Let's say one of your friends secretly despises you, and they're like, I'm going to post his 100% off coupon code on Slick Deals. This will teach him. Or somebody on one of these Facebook groups does it, behind your back. Okay, here's what to do. Number one, always use Wilson Matos's reserve or inventory tactic whenever you're giving like a 99% off coupon or a 100% off coupon. Otherwise, you can literally lose all your inventory. Let me show you where that is. This is something to do 100% of the time. This is not optional. If you're going to do very aggressive couponing, you have to reserve the inventory. So let me show you where that is. It's under Training Guides and Follow-Along Documents. And it is this one right here, How to Protect Your Inventory During Promotions. It literally walks you step by step. This is all you need. Just follow that. So that's the first caveat. You've got to protect your inventory. Now, that being said, I have had situations where I'll protect all my inventory except for 50 units, let's say. And I see within 15 minutes, whoosh, those 50 units are gone. So the first thing I do is I thank Wilson in my mind. I go, thank God Wilson came up with that PDF because I could have lost all my inventory. Because that's indicative that somebody shared it on a very popular blog or maybe even on a forum, but they put the coupon code in public. Maybe they weren't even doing it to try to harm you. Maybe they thought, hey, this person needs reviews. I know he's trying to give away 15 of these, so act on this fast. They don't know that there's no way to limit the number of coupons that get redeemed. So it's not always done with evil intent, but that's why you want to use the reserve the inventory tactic. But let's say that happens very quickly. We immediately want to deactivate the coupon. So what do we do? Well, let me just show you that. Go to Advertising, click on Promotions, click on Manage Promotions, and when you start making coupons, it's going to bring up these coupons. So you click on View for the appropriate coupon. In this case, it would say like wireless Bluetooth speaker dash 100% off, so you know what it is. Click View. And then you want to click End this promotion. It'll bring up this pop-up that says, are you sure you want to end this promotion? It's going to take 4 hours. Click Submit. And I will tell you in the real world, it actually deactivates the coupon immediately. It doesn't take 4 hours. I don't know why they say that, because that is not the case. Okay? All right. So let's take one final stretch here. And let's get ready to sink our teeth into the final module here, all right? Now, tools that I use daily to run my Amazon business. Now, before I even delve into these are all optional tools. I'm only sharing this because I get asked this repeatedly. People are curious what I'm doing. So, you know, if money's super tight, don't worry about some of these tools. You know, I merely mention these to you because this is what you want to probably use at some point as your Amazon business grows. All right, fair enough? All right. Amazon Seller Tools. I already mentioned this, but only in the context of one tool, which is the BSR throwdown tool. But frankly, I use the other tools even more. Okay, now let me show you exactly what I do with them and the most vital ones. Okay, this one is the one I use the most. It's called the Qzx909 tool. I could not run my business without this tool. Now what it does, again, I don't like the names that it uses for these. I just think it's very confusing. But okay, picture this. You enter your ASIN, i.e. your product unique identifier, into this tool. Super easy to do. Every hour, it emails me if somebody has left me a review, and it'll say, one person just left you a 5-star review, or one person left you a 1-star review. Oh, crap. It also sends me an email every hour if somebody has left a question in my listing. You know, like in the middle of a listing where it says, hey, I'm wondering if this Bluetooth wireless speaker, does it work with an iPhone? So, if you get really busy, that question could be sitting there for weeks. And then you get some competitor answering it, saying, this thing's a piece of crap. Trust me, don't get it. Get mine. That kind of thing. So I want to know when we have customer service questions being posted. So that notifies me. I don't have to worry about, like obsessively checking all my listings. It also notifies me by email if somebody leaves seller feedback. Now, why is that important? Well, I'll tell you why it's important, because sometimes somebody will leave a tremendous testimonial in the wrong section under seller feedback. So this gives my outsourcer a chance to politely contact them and say, thank you so much for your wonderful feedback. Would you mind posting this actually as a product review right here? See, without these notifications, I'm in constant reaction, and I'm relying on my memory, or if I happen to get around to it that day. I want to know, if I get a 1-star review, I want to know within the hour so I can do damage control. Or same thing with the question. If somebody's posting a question, they're in heat. They want to buy, right? So anyway, I use this constantly. I could not run my business without that. I already mentioned the super URL builder. I've already showed you on the last webinar the ultimate BSR throwdown thing. And there's several other interesting tools, but frankly, those are the ones that I use the most. Is the BSR one, the super URL, and the Qzx909. Literally daily we use this, okay? And for what he's charging, again, I don't get any money for recommending you guys to him. You're insane not to get this once you go live with your product listing, in my opinion. But, you guys do what you want. I'm just sharing what I use. All right, here's one that I really like. It's James Harbaugh's Keyword Inspector. Let me show you what this does. So basically, I hate keyword research. It's like not in my nature to like it. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm more creative or something. So what James Harbaugh's Keyword Inspector tool allows us to do is you can go, let's say we're wanting to get into the Bluetooth wireless speaker niche. Okay, so I want to find out, hey, what keywords is this guy targeting? What keywords is this guy targeting? And what keywords is this guy targeting? If I know his the most profitable keywords for the top 3 listings, that gives me a pretty big advantage. Okay, and so like if I was brand new to this niche, I might even be wrong that wireless Bluetooth speaker is even the right keyword. It could be something entirely different, which is the problem of using merchant words in terms of only using it for keyword research. Because like in other words, watch this. If I type in I don't know, let's do wireless Bluetooth speaker. It's only going to show me variants of wireless Bluetooth speaker. right? I mean, maybe a far better keyword, again, I'm just making this up, would have been, Bluetooth speakerphone. But that's not going to come up because it only ever shows variants of whatever we put into this box. It's not going to show keywords that are kind of related to it. It's going to go down the path that we set up here. So James Harbaugh's tool, now I only use merchant words in the product analysis, and I just do my best guess on what the main keyword is. I don't use James Harbaugh's tool when I'm in the early stages of just quickly checking out products for the no or go or no go decision. So this is what you sound like after going for 2 hours, by the way. All right, so I just want to be clear on this. I only use James Harbaugh's thing once I have already chosen to go into a product, okay? And I do it for the top 3 ASINs. So let me show you what I do. So every product has an ASIN. So an ASIN is this thing right here. See, it says BOOF5NE2KG. That's like a social security number, a unique identifier for each product, okay? And what you do is, in James Harbaugh's Keyword Inspector, you plug in the ASINs here, and I will typically do the top 3 or top 4 listings, and then I click Search Multiple ASINs, okay? And what this does, it brings up a keyword report like this. Let me blow this up so you can see it. Now, see, I would have thought wireless Bluetooth speaker was the most important keyword, but he's saying here the best keyword to rank for is Bluetooth speaker. The second best is wireless speakers, okay? And that's for that ASIN. Now let's see if this correlates with the second one. Oh, there we go again. Bluetooth speakers. Okay, this is different. This is the brand name, but Bluetooth speakers. So it's not wireless Bluetooth speakers. It's actually Bluetooth speakers. Portable speakers. I never would have thought of that one. See, portable wouldn't have come up if I would have typed in Bluetooth speakers into merchant words. Again, because merchant words gives results that are based on whatever keyword phrase that we're typing in there. It won't show me things like for speaker here. Qzx, so it's a brand name. So here's 2 brand names I could use, see? Now over here, I don't want to get too in-depth with this because this goes outside the scope of this call. But when you're coming up with a keyword list, you don't need to repeat keywords, right? The way that Amazon does things. So he makes it easy. He says, here's the individual words. Bluetooth, speakers, jawbone, speaker, portable, Bluetooth. So you just go down this list and you add these into the search fields. You weave them into your title and your bullets. And what I do is I like to look at the top 3 listings, and I look for things or themes. So like in other words, I throw out like the weird freak exceptions, like Qzx XL. That's probably a weird one just for this speaker because it probably, is something that people specifically looking for Qzx XL or X1 are typing in. But see, I don't see it in this one. Wait, do I? Oh, I do. Okay, I take that back. So Qzx X1 apparently is a highly searched thing. Let's see if I see it in this one. Okay, I don't see it in this one. Now you notice I get some different results. So now we have speaker mini Bluetooth. So these 2 said speaker Bluetooth, right? Bluetooth speakers, and now I'm going to add the word mini somewhere in my listing, if it's applicable. So anyway, I don't want to get all into that. In my Amazon Fast Track coaching, I teach my entire process for how to do that. I'm just showing you my tools and just giving you a quick and dirty kind of look at how I'm using some of these tools. So anyway, check that out. It's really sort of a ninja thing that has worked very well for me. Tool number 3, FBAinspection.com. Okay, let me explain this one. Let's say that you're ordering something from China, okay? Here is the realistic kind of workflow for somebody brand new to ASM for the first product, okay? So you're not going to be ordering like 10,000 units. You're probably going to order like 200 units, 400 units. So the first time that we ordered our first product, I literally just had China ship them by air. I think it was UPS, right to my townhouse. Now, I don't have a lot of space, but I could fit 400 units in my garage, and my wife and I literally just grabbed a box opener, and we randomly inspected like about half the boxes. We held the units, made sure that they were supposed to be what they're supposed to be, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to, right out of the gate, with an unproven vendor, you don't want to ship a bunch of crap products into Amazon, because they will literally ban you from selling on Amazon if you get too many complaints, if you get too many refunds and things like that. They actually send you a report now about once a month of like your product defect rate. I mean, they take that very, very seriously. So with a new vendor, you'll probably ship it first to yourself, then you'll print out the UPS labels once you've inspected them, and then you'll call UPS, and then you'll send it off to Amazon. But I live in a townhouse, and also for my second order, I think I ordered like 1,000 units. And I mean, I have a townhouse in New York, so 1,000 units, it's just not going to fit in my townhouse. But I didn't want to send them directly to Amazon because I didn't have enough experience with that Chinese manufacturer yet. So thank God somebody suggested FBA inspection. Now, FBA inspection is a warehouse that works with people like us. What they do is they take the delivery of your products. Okay, so let's say you're going to ship by air from China. Rather than having it go to Amazon or to me, I have it go right to FBA inspection. And then they take the delivery. They open up every single box. They inspect every unit by hand. If there's any damaged goods, they take pictures and they upload them in the Dropbox so you can see what the damage is. And then they'll repackage them. They'll slap on your UPS discounted ground labels that Amazon provides, and you're off to the races. And I think he charges like a small per unit fee, but it's well worth the peace of mind. But then once I have a lot of confidence and I've placed reorders, let's say 3 or more times, I really no longer need FBA inspection because I have confidence in the vendor at that point. So at that stage of the game, I ship direct by air right to Amazon. And in the final stage where I'm at now is I'm ordering so many units, it makes no sense to ship by air at that point, and now we're shipping by ocean freight. Okay? But anyway, that's the role that FBA inspection takes. They act as an in-between inspection house that will inspect your units, and this is particularly useful if you're outside the U.S. You know, if you're ordering something and you live in Australia, it would be cost prohibitive to air it to Australia and then re-air it to Amazon. I mean, it would cost you a fortune. So instead, you just use a service like FBA inspection. Also, a good use of FBA inspection is, let's say that you want to do some sort of a product insert because you want to build your own in-house list of buyers. So you do an insert like lifetime warranty, visit this website here. They can insert those flyers or those inserts into your product for you as part of the inspection process for a fee. All right? Merchant words, I already mentioned that on the previous webinar. FreshKey. All right, FreshKey is pretty interesting. I'm just going to show you this very briefly. This is a relatively cheap piece of software that Ryan Deiss puts out. Okay, let me show you what it automates here. It'll just be easier if I show you this by way of example. Okay, so let's say that I want to get into the Bluetooth speaker. So I now know it's not wireless Bluetooth speaker. It's Bluetooth speakers is the main keyword, thanks to James Harbaugh. So let's go Bluetooth speaker. Okay, now Bluetooth. Now see these things that it is suggesting. So these are potentially gold mines. This is called Amazon Suggest. So Bluetooth speakers waterproof. So that would be a good keyword to target. Bluetooth speaker portable. It's kind of funny. This also came up in the James Harbaugh research that we saw. JBL, that's a good brand name right there. Bose, another brand name. And here we go, Bluetooth speaker phone. Okay? So this is called Amazon Suggest. Now, do you think it's going to suggest unprofitable keywords? I don't think so. Amazon's pretty darn smart. They're going to suggest probably the most profitable or the most popular keywords. So what Ryan Deiss's software does, it just automates the suggest process. So let's type in Bluetooth was it speakers? I think it was speakers, but anyway. In this case, we just want to do Amazon by itself, and we click Get Keywords. And there you go. See, look, it pulled those keywords. There's waterproof, Bose, JBL, and portable. See that? So it first does the top suggest ones, and then it does it by alphabet. Let me show you what I mean. So watch this. Bluetooth speakers, and I put the letter B in there, and see it says Beats, Bass, Bose. C, and it does cheap, creative, clock. D, anyway, that's what this tool does. Okay, so it'll do the top level ones, and it does a deep dive. Bluetooth speakers B, C, D. Okay, pretty cool, right? And I think it cost me like $20, something like that. Just type in Ryan Dice Fresh Key, and it's a pretty cool tool to have. ASM Ranker. Hope you guys all know what that is. I use that thing constantly. Frankly, if that was the only bonus that you got from Jason and Wilson, and I mean, come on, it's incredible the amount of bonuses that they hook us up with, is it not? I mean, you guys were so smart to buy through those guys. I mean, I did the same thing. I bought through their affiliate link. What a huge advantage we all have, you know, over the unwashed masses out there. This thing is freaking killer. It's genius. Speaking of the word genius, we have a couple other products with the word genius in them. Okay, Import Genius. Let me show you what this one is. I actually think I forgot to open this up. Import Genius, where are you? Right there. Okay. So, as you get into importing, you'll learn this phrase. It's called a bill of lading. The weirdest name, isn't it? A bill of lading, or BOL. All this means is, whenever you import something on like a giant cargo ship like this, you're required by law to complete what's called a bill of lading. So on that bill of lading, you have to put your company name and the manufacturer's name and what you're importing. So it might be like Jingzhou Industries, ABC Inc., wireless Bluetooth speakers. So what this tool will enable you to do, or at least get close to doing, is let's say you want to get into the wireless Bluetooth speaker thing. You can literally type in DK Knight, Anchor, Shark, Oonce, and you can reverse engineer the exact manufacturers that they're using to source their products. Now, I've found in the real world it's not that easy, because, you know, sometimes with these larger products, there's several manufacturers in that supply chain. Like one might do the internal speaker, one might do the casing, but that's not always the case. So you can get some ninja research from Import Genius. Okay, not for everybody because it can be pretty expensive, but it's a pretty darn cool thing. You know when you're ready for it. Feedback Genius. Okay. Let me show you what this thing is. Okay. Again, optional. When I first started out, what this does is it's like it basically does what the ASM email tool does. Now, currently the ASM email tool is free. I found it a bit limiting, and I found it to have some bugs, but it was free. So when I first started out, that's what I used. But it was sending out like sometimes duplicate emails and things like that. But hey, other than that, it worked pretty well. But when I had, I think I did this when I had my third product. I wanted a more robust tool that was solely focused just on handling the Amazon emails, and I really like Feedback Genius. Again, this is optional. This is they charge $20 a month, and we're now moving so many units. I think we're at the $80 a month price. But again, you'd only be spending that when you're making good sales. But I just took the risk, and I thought, you know what, for $20, I think it's worth it, and I'm very happy with this tool. So I use this tool in place of the ASM email tool, but I only made this change once I was making money. So start off with the ASM Ranker, or the ASM email tool. I think it's freaking amazing that that they give you a free ASM email tool included with the course. I mean, that's freaking awesome. I mean, they don't have to do that. The other tool that I use is called Search Ranker by Seller Labs. Let me just pause my screen for a minute, bring this up. Search. I want to make sure I'm not logged in. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay. This is made by the same people that make Feedback Genius. All this thing does is it charts my rank for keywords. So it's not the best tool in the world, but it lets me see every morning at a glance how I'm ranking. So that's what I'm using. And that's it. 2.5 hours then, huh? All right. If you guys have any questions that you'd like me to take if you have a headset or like audio, I'd love to interact, okay? So let me, oh my gosh, we have like a gazillion people on here. So I'm going to do my best. Uh-oh, lots of hands, lots of hands. All right, I'm going to go to Ann Gray. Ann Gray, I'm going live with you in 3, 2, 1. Hey, Ann, are you there? Hey, Ann? Okay. We'll go to Ann Parks. Ann Parks, hope you're there. Hope you haven't fallen asleep. You're going to be unmuted in 3, 2, 1. Hey, Ann? Ann Parks? All right. We'll try this again. Guys, if you have your hand raised, let me show a better graphic of this. So only raise your hand, that little hand button, if you have a mic or headset, okay? Because otherwise I'm going to call on you. So if you don't have a mic or headset and you've raised your hand, click the button again to lower your hand, all right? So the two ands, that didn't work for us. Let's go with Beth Hawkins. Beth, you're about to be live. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Beth, are you there?
I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, Beth, how are you?
Good, good. I got here late, unfortunately.
Okay.
I got in. Well, this might be a crazy question because I'm new at this, but to get that many products out there fast enough to make this kind of money, I know people keep reinvesting their money back in the business, but what kind of money are you talking about to really get going, to start making significant money to live off of it? I'm trying to budget how I'm going to work this. Is that a question you can answer?
I can kind of answer it, and I'm going to put you back on mute. Thanks, Beth, for the question there. So hold on, let me just lower her hand for her. There we go. So how much money to budget so that she can have a product that then she can live off the proceeds? Okay. Wrong question. Because you're kind of swimming in the constraints of your own budgetary limitations. Now, let me just say that when you're coming up with tactics and strategies to build a business, you don't want to make every tactical decision based on our own limited resources. So, like, in other words, start from the premise of, okay, if money were no object, what would we do? We do this, and then we do this. And then we back it off into reality. We say, okay, I can't afford to do this, this, and this, but can I do less of number 1, less of number 2, and less of number 3? Okay, yeah, I can afford that, so let's go with that, and let's see what happens, okay? But I don't think you want to start from the mindset of, I only have $100 to work with, and, how can I get retired from $100? You know what I'm saying? I don't know the answer to that. I tend to work from the tactical side of things, and then if I can't afford it, maybe like right out of the gate, I'll do like a substrate of that. Maybe I can't afford to give away 50 units a day for 4 days, but I should be able to give away 5 units a day for 4 days and see what happens. Okay, good question. And by the way, you guys are amazing. Almost 400 of you are still on with me after 2.5 hours. That's awesome. Let's go with Brian Lynn. Brian, I'm going to you in 3, 2, 1. Hey, Brian, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hey, how are you, Brian?
I'm good, I'm good. So I just wanted to ask, can you, it's like a question and then a slightly related one. Can you clarify the videos, putting videos on our listings, and then in a related topic, you mentioned getting a customer video review in the #1 position. Could you clarify those two things?
Yeah. So we're not allowed when we're FBA, Brian. We can't post a video in our listing, and you definitely don't want to. I saw one guy. He tried to get creative. He actually put in his bullet point the full URL to his YouTube video. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's gonna get banned, because Amazon, you know, they don't like us, you know, trying to divert traffic off of Amazon. It's their platform, right?
I see. I see.
Yeah. So currently, you know, we're all FBA. They won't let us put a video in. So so then what we have to do is you want to try to encourage some of your customers to leave a video review. Now, one way to do that is to contact the Amazon top 1,000 reviewers, because several of them will do a video review in exchange for getting a free product.
Okay. I see. So, but in regards to getting the video review in the #1 position, is that something we can control, or is that just luck of the draw?
No, that would be like where you here. Let me just show you something. So you know how you came up with that list of 100 people, you know, the friends and family?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that's where you're going to do this. You're going to say, hey, guys. Okay, great example. Okay, see this? See this guy right here? Now look at this. It says 351 found this review helpful. That's because 351 clicked, was this review helpful? Yes. See that? So guess what you're going to do? You're going to email all your friends and family. Hey guys, here's the link. Okay, and by the way, here is the link. You click on where it says awesome speaker, and it takes you to every review has its own URL. So you copy and paste that URL, and you say, guys, go to this page and click yes. Was this review helpful to you? Because in the real world, for a brand new listing, you only need like 3 people to click yes, and it'll be like ranked at the top. You know.
Okay.
And that's how you move up or down, like reviews, either marking them as helpful yes or not helpful no.
Okay. Yeah, I could have sworn that I've seen like I guess companies with FBA, large companies, I think, like, and they have videos in their listing, so I might be wrong.
No, you're right. So the ones that have videos say shipped and sold by Amazon.
Okay.
And that's a different program called Vendor Central. You have to be invited into Vendor Central.
Okay.
But all of us are lowly FBA. So ours says sold by us and fulfilled by Amazon. Now,
Okay.
Brian, I'll just mention this. Well, something that I've heard, I can't confirm, but I heard that they're going to be rolling out sometime in 2015 the ability for us FBA folks like me and you to use video in our listing, and also to use some of those like some of the templates like this. Now this guy's using a giant image that is against the terms of service. He just hasn't been called out on it. But I heard they're going to give us templates for the product description and the ability to use video. Haven't confirmed it, but I have it on good word.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why the Amazon.com listings I always see, it seems to look a lot fancier than us lowly FBA people.
Yeah. All right, Brian. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's hear from Catherine Anderson. Catherine, I'm going to you in 3, 2, 1, blast off. Hey, Catherine.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I can hear you great. How are you, Catherine?
Good, good. I just love these classes. I've got to tell you, I'm sitting here at 11:30 because I'm on Eastern time, and I've already clicked on the webinar waiting to get in. So
That's awesome.
Yes. My question revolves around the images. I always thought that the background, all of the background must be white, and particularly for your main image. Is that correct?
You're right and you're wrong. You're right about the main image. Absolutely, has to be all white. And I see this violated quite a bit. Like, okay, so technically, see this one right here, Catherine, where it has the dimensions here?
Yes.
And it has a hand. Okay, so like this is the type of image that I love and that I use, but this violates the terms of services. Amazon strictly only wants product, white background, like this one with the water here.
Right.
That, technically violates terms of service. Now, I've never heard of anyone who got banned by, having, little doodads in their main image. I have personally gotten my hand slapped by Amazon. they said, you got to change that main product image because I had some little trust seal in it. So I just changed it. I mean, it's really no big deal.
Okay, but that's only for the first main image? You
That's
can
correct.
put colors in backgrounds and all sorts of nice things in
Yep.
the rest?
Absolutely, yep. The only
And
thing
they
you can't
don't
do-
have to be white? Like
No.
that one you're showing with the guy with the hand and the phone. It doesn't have to be a white background?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. See, this one has color here. Like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Yep. This one isn't all white. There's just the main product image, and then you can go hog wild with the rest of them. And let me just say one thing though. You never in your images want to put an external website because here's what I did see somebody doing. I'll just use this as an example. They showed the product and then they did like their brand name. It said abcinc.com. Oh, Amazon does not like that. That you're trying to divert their traffic. See, like in Amazon's mind, they think that you're leveraging their traffic, trying to send their customers to your site where they can buy off your site.
Right. Okay.
So that will get you banned. So just avoid that. But otherwise, you can go wild with the inner images. Just the main image has to be white. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, Catherine. Thanks for logging on so darn early for this. Okay, talk to you later. All right. Now that's a hardcore fan. Logs in half an hour early. Love it. Okay. Craig Allen, you're next here, buddy. Craig Allen, I'm going to you in 3, 2, 1. Hey, Craig, can you hear me? Craig, you there, buddy? All right. Looks like Craig's audio is not working. Let's go underneath him. Daniel Hall. Daniel, are you ready for me? Clear the throat. You're going live. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Daniel? Daniel, you're live with me, buddy. Are you there? All right. We will go to the next person then. I'm sort of doing this like a Vegas roulette wheel. There are so many people, and they put the names of the attendees in alphabetical order. So I'm just kind of scrolling around and just finding people, to be fair. So I'm not just going like in alphabetical order in case we don't get to the people lower on the list here. So let's go with Wallace Witham, I believe the name is. Wallace Witham. Wallace, I'm going to you next. 3, 2, 1. Wallace, you there? All right. I'll try this with one more person here, and then I'll go to the typed questions. Let's go with Theo Handon. Theo Handon. Hopefully you have a working mic, buddy. All right, Theo, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
All right. Thank
Fine.
God, somebody's mic worked.
Yeah, so question is, I've got a lot of friends that are sort of public, well-known athletes because I'm in the fitness niche. Is there any rules or regulations of getting these? Because I've got a bunch of friends that can endorse a lot of products. They're all my friends, basically. I was a high-end athlete before. Could I get those guys to sponsor any of my products and put them on the Amazon listings? Is there any regulations about that or not?
So I'm a little confused. What are you concerned about?
Just concerned about if I can use it endorsed, so athlete names on the actual images. Like if they're actually using it and says, used by so-and-so. Is that allowed?
And you want to do that well, is this with or without their permission?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, they're all friends of mine. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, absolutely. There's no Amazon rule, but yeah, like as somebody that I know, they once cooked for Dr. Oz, and they used Dr. Oz's name in their listing without his knowledge, and Amazon, I believe, took that listing down. But if you have their permission, absolutely.
Yeah, because I was going to basically put it on the actual brand website just to confirm that as well. And I've got a second part question. Obviously, I'm in the UK, and my leverage here is a lot stronger, obviously, especially with the people that I know. And I can just get a lot more movement there. Is there any sort of help with setting up an account in the UK? I do want to hit the US and do it all through the training, absolutely 100%. But my gut feeling is I could do all of this because the market is a lot smaller here, I understand. But the products I'm looking at, there's no one doing this. And with the leverage I have with the people I know, it'd pretty easy to just rank really well.
I mean, I love the UK market and the Germany market. I mean, they are huge money-making machines. So since you've already gone through all the ropes of getting your product onto Amazon US, there's very little extra additional know-how that you need to bring it to the UK. So I would say go for it.
Excellent. Do you have to have a separate account, or can you bolt it onto the same one? How does that work?
No, you have to have a separate .co.uk account, but the great advantage you would have is that you can use that same .co.uk account to also go into Germany. You just add it to your European account, and it literally is just a drop-down thing. So you switch from .co.uk to .de. You can go to France. I don't think they'll let you go to Japan with that European account, but oh yeah, it's awesome.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for your help, man.
Absolutely. Thanks, Theo. And wow, what a good opportunity Theo has, huh? I would love to get the celebrity endorsements for my products. What Theo should do, right, is like his second or third image in is he should show a picture of that athlete smiling, holding whatever, like the whey protein or whatever he's selling, and then say, Joe Blow, Olympic athlete, gold medal winner 2013, or whatever the heck the thing is. Yeah, that's killer. You definitely want to use that endorsement. I would use like the best one. It doesn't even have to be a guy that anybody's heard of. Just a guy with a good credential. We call that a quasi-celebrity. Very, very effective. Let's go with Susan Cooper here. Oh, hold on a second. Susan, hopefully you have a mic that's working as well. Susan, we're going with you in 3, 2, 1. Susan? Susan, you there? All right. And we'll give it a try with a couple more people, and then we'll jump into the questions here. Let's go with Romeo, and I can't pronounce the last name. T-I-J-D-M-E-T-E-R. Romeo. Let's give you a try here, buddy. All right. Are you there, Romeo?
Yes, I'm here.
Am I saying that first name right, or is it
Just
Romeo?
Romeo.
Romeo. How are you, Romeo?
I'm fine. Thank you for the webinar. I've been scrolling down Amazon's website a couple of days ago, and we were taught in ASM that we should use in our title the maximum of 250 characters. But I ran into some sites with where I see people using almost 450 characters. Is that a problem if we use it like that?
Yeah. They are now enforcing the shorter titles. So what people used to try to do is keyword stuff. So
Yes.
they would put every single freaking keyword possible into that title. Now, those titles look horrendously bad on like a mobile device. So like I use an iPad all the time, and those long
Yeah.
titles, they look hideous. They just don't look right. And yeah, and like if you have like an iPhone or a smartphone, it looks just weird. So there's lots of reasons not to use long titles. And I in my Amazon Fast Track coaching program a couple months ago, I shared a test with them on a product. I decided to do the shortest title that I could think of, and it ranked just as well as my long keyword stuff titles. So there's more and more evidence that I'm seeing that throwing a keyword into a title really doesn't matter. There's a reason why Amazon is offering us the search field when we set up our listing. I also want to bring your attention, and thank you, Romeo, for the question. I'm going to drop in a chat box. This is a link that I want you guys to watch, because this is what Amazon wants us to do, okay? And I want you to watch this one. Use detailed product titles and optimize search terms. And I just want to show you something real quick here. Just bear with me. I'm going to show you what Amazon wants.
The color.
This is all they want in a title right here. Whoops. That's it. A product brand name, the product line, the material, color, size, and quantity. An example they give is Laura Ashley, Sophia Collection, 300 thread count, and then your pillowcases. They don't want all the extra stuff that we're throwing in there. So more and more they're trying to enforce some of these headline rules. Now, do I do my headlines this dry? No, I don't. I toe the line. But I'm going to drop this link in here because I think it's very, very important that we see at least what Amazon is wanting, so we stay out of some trouble here. Let me drop this into the chat box right here. That should have went out to all of you. Oh, let me also throw in the link to James Harbaugh's tool. Here we go. Okay, so somewhere in your chat box I put 2 links, and you can check those out. Now, don't let those links freak you out like these videos that they show here, because some of their advice is just stupid. But hey, you got to know the rules before you can break them. So just be aware of what they are wanting, and then add a little bit extra. Add your little marketing edge. But more and more, they're cracking down on long titles, on long bullets. Okay, I just want to make you aware of that. All right, let's go to some questions here. Let's see. Okay, Michael Evans. How are you, Michael? He says, I didn't quite understand the photo text benefit. Could you re-explain? Are you saying that there is text on the photo? Sorry, I couldn't understand or see what you were showing when explaining this. Okay, so the formula that I like to use, and the replay will be posted for this too, if something got messed up or something. But it's like this should read like a TV commercial storyboard. So see, there's image and then text benefit right here. So the image, and then it says up to 20 hours of playtime. So this is the benefit. So product image, benefit. Product image, benefit right there. Product image, benefit. And I love that formula. And you don't want, I see some of these, okay, so even though I showed this one as an example, this one, the text is almost too small. I prefer one main text benefit like this. Because remember, most people are just going to scroll down real quick. I don't want to get them stuck in reading. I don't want them thinking too much. I want the impulse buy. So I want them like checking out the headline. Okay, that looks cool. Ooh, up to 20 hours of playtime. Okay, that's kind of cool. Oh, it does work for my iPhone. All right, I'm going to buy it. And that's what most people do. Or I should say, ding, ding, ding. That's what most people do. Okay, hope that answered that question. Whoops, hold on a second. James Brooks says, if ASMers use short titles, how will Amazon Seller Tools determine who is ASM? Well, in that case, it would not be able to, because Amazon Seller Tools just bases that on character count. But again, as I said, Amazon more and more is enforcing the actual rules here. Jade Campbell says, Ben, a fantastically educational webinar. I'm stoked. Thanks a million. Awesome. Thanks, Jade. I just want to mention this again. If you liked what I'm teaching here, I'd love a shout out in the ASM Masters group, and I do read all those. And but I do apologize in advance. I won't be able to personally reply to all of them, but I'd love your feedback on that. Let's see. I'm mainly sticking with questions that are germane to what I taught today, so we can stay on topic as best I can. Okay, so Jack says, I tried the way of giving 100% off you showed in this class, but could only get the price down to 1 cent. I could not get it down to completely free. I didn't have that experience. Just make sure that you selected dollar off. You might have selected percentage off, but dollar off always worked for me. In fact, I just did this recently for 3 new products. So you might just want to give it one more try. Eric says, it's 2:30 a.m. my time, so I'm a fan. That's awesome. You're either drinking caffeine or alcohol, one of the two, right? What about use of Fiverr for doing photos, reviews, help with listing technology? Okay. I have no problem with using Fiverr for doing photo things. Definitely not for reviews. Just don't do it. I've given you methods that are legit, that will have no footprint. Amazon is a very, very smart animal. They see that, Mary Smith is leaving, 30 5-star reviews per day for products that Mary Smith never bought. It looks a little suspicious, right? So I would never use Fiverr for help with listing technologies, for reviews, things like that. I would just use them for photos. And frankly, the way I use Fiverr is I use Fiverr only as a way to find a freelancer. So I might hire literally 5 different people for the same task, because it's so cheap, and then end up with one person that I really like that I'll just reuse for the rest of my images. And then I'll just send them a private message, and we'll sort of negotiate from there. Jane says, can we put lifetime guarantee graphic on the image? Not the main image, but you can definitely do a whole image of a lifetime guarantee, like seal, or like a certificate almost, if you want to, or you can add it to the second image, but not on the main image now. At some point they would just ask you to take it down anyway. AJ says, where do you get the photographs? Do you take your own? Thanks. At first I did. But I tend to mainly use 3D renderings. They're a bit more, but they allow me to do a lot more kind of creative things with my inner images once I have a 3D rendering. Like this guaranteed is a 3D rendering. This is not an actual picture of it. This is a 3D rendering, I guarantee you. See, this is a 3D rendering. This is not. See, so you can almost tell the difference right away. So once you have a good graphic artist, they can do all these different angles of the 3D rendering. Now, really, this is just the same image, different angle, and they're just kind of adding some color and some text. So for not a lot of extra money, you can have them do these different angles. Very easy to do. In my early days, though, I did buy this. Let me show you this. I think it's called a shadow box. I actually got it on, let's see, what's it called? Shadow box? No. Darn, I can't remember what it. What's the thing he called? It's like a little white box for taking product pictures. I can't remember what the heck that's called. But anyway, I bought it for like $100 off Amazon, and I actually did take pictures, and it came out very, very good. I actually took them with my iPhone, and let's see if anybody remembers. Lightbox. Thank you, Lightbox. Let's do Lightbox kit or something like that. Ooh, might be the exact one. Yeah, like they give you lights and everything. So for 57 bucks, look at all the stuff you get. And you literally shove your product in here. You put lights on, or you can do different color background. And it worked really, oh, see, okay, I don't feel bad. See, they're using like an iPhone too. So there you go. Anyway, you know, I did it real, you know, low budge when I first got started. Okay, Maggie says, Ben, what's your take? I'm running out of inventory. What can I do to keep ranking? I'm not quite sure what you mean. Typically, when I'm running out of inventory, I just let it run out, and then, you know, and then curse myself daily for not ordering enough, you know, and hold my breath until the next batch arrives. One time I did raise the price. Now, let me tell you, learn from my mistake. So I raised my price, and when you raise your price, in some cases it will hurt your ranking, not always. In my case, it did hurt my ranking, so I slipped in my ranking. So then when I got my new inventory back in, right out of the gate, my ranking was at that lower ranking point due to raising my price, so I was not very happy with that. So I would actually, now I know a lot of people would not agree with me, but I can only base this on my experience, not on theory, that when I get low on stock, my new tactic is never to raise the price. I would prefer to run out of stock, so I'm kind of locked in at, let's say, position number 8. And then once my new inventory arrives, I might be ranked at number 11, and slowly over several days it'll get re-ranked to position number 8. That typically is what happened, but that did not happen when I raised my price, because when I raised my price, my ranking dropped, let's say, I'm just making this up, to number 18, and then when my inventory came in, I was like number 23, and I almost had to, you know, revive it with almost like a re-ranking strategy. Let's see. Stephen Walker says, Feedback Genius, what does it do? I already covered that. I don't know. I'm not sure when he posted that, but Feedback Genius is a paid version of the ASM email tool. So basically, you know, you order my product off Amazon, and you get an email that says, hey, thanks so much for ordering. You can expect your product to ship you know, within 24 hours from Amazon. If you have any questions, contact me. And then I can time it to send out an email like 2 days after it's been delivered. It says, hey, you just got delivery. If you have any questions, let me know. And by the way, I'm not sure if you knew this, but one of the features that a lot of people overlook is yada, yada, yada. Please, if you have any questions, email me personally. I personally respond to all of the customer feedback, you know, that kind of thing. All right. Doesn't Amazon care that you're giving away product? No. They have a whole program called Amazon Vine. Amazon Vine is a in-house program that you are required to give your product to Amazon Vine members for free, and they review it. No, I mean, in a real-world business, you know, giving away product samples happens all the time. I have a local grocery store, and I walk in there, and there are ladies and guys dressed in aprons that are handing me, you know, pieces of a special kind of apple that they just like got in the Wegmans, you know, free samples that way. If you go to trade shows, they give you a bag to get all the free samples. When you release a new product, you know, I mean, Apple, you know, about a month before they ever release a new product like the new iPad Air 2, they're sending samples of those out to Time Magazine for free, to bloggers. No, it happens all the time. Amazon doesn't care. James says, how do we respond and repair the damage of one-star review? Okay, well, I used to get really, really stressed out when I would get a one-star review, but I knew it was like inevitable. And I will say this, there's certain products that seem to attract one-star reviews, and there's certain product categories where one-star reviews are more rare. So I have a product line in the kitchen category. Now, for some reason, in the kitchen category, people are more likely to give me a 4 or 5 star review. And I have some other products that are in another category. And for some reason, people are far more apt to give a 3-star, a 4-star, and even some 1-stars. I was giving myself an ulcer, stressing out. And the reality is, once you start doing big numbers, which you will, they're going to happen. They're just going to happen. You're going to have competitors do it, and you do your best to fend them off. You do your best to contact them. And like if I ever get a 1-star review, immediately what we do is we say, well, we have a 100% money-back guarantee. I'm proactively refunding you right away. And also, we just want to say thank you so much for giving our product a try. We'd like to send you this other product for free. Please reply back with your name and an address, and we're happy to do this for you. Now, if they're a legit 1-star review, they will usually say, well, thanks so much. Yeah, it actually arrived late. I was pissed because it was supposed to be a birthday gift. So, hey, thanks so much. And you know what? I'm going to change my review to 5-star. By the way, you never ask them to change their review. That is clearly against terms of service. Now, you then get like ones where you never hear back from the person. In my mind, clear indication that that's a competitor or they're doing some, things that they shouldn't be doing. And there's really not much you can do. Like I've tried, and my team has tried to get those 1-star reviews like removed by Amazon, and they almost never do it. So it's just the nature of the football field that we all play on. You're going to have some dirty refs and some dirty players, and you know what? Let's not sink to that level. I never try to sabotage somebody else's listing. I'm going to play fair, and I don't care what other people are doing. It's just, I gotta sleep at night, and I'm going to do the best I can. And I think it'll come back around to those people that post those fake reviews, that like try to hurt you. I mean, Amazon isn't stupid. Over time they're going to build systems, and those people will probably get their accounts banned. It's my guess. At least I like to think that. Isn't there an app where you can just buy your reviews? Susan wants to know. No, if there is, don't use it. You don't need to. I've given you all these methods that you can easily get legitimate, awesome reviews. Let's say I could buy reviews. Okay, let's just say in theory, they're not going to be good reviews. They're going to be crap. I want the ones where like they're passionate about it, they love my tea kettle, or they love the whatever the case may be, and that says verified purchase. I mean, that's how I want to play the game. I don't want to do shortcuts just to shortcut it. And also, by the way, if you fake reviews for certain products like supplements, you could literally go to jail in the States. I mean, there's laws about that. This pill made me lose, several pounds in a week. If that's fake, you're in big trouble. David says, do you offer 100% money-back guarantee on every product? Common sense rule applies. Like, for example, if I was selling light bulbs, no way, right? If I was selling like a yoga mat, sure, why not? But I wouldn't say do it just to do it, though. Susan says, I didn't sign up to go to jail. Right, I know. Now, if you're talking about like the viral app, that's different. That's not fake reviews, and they're not buying reviews with that. Okay, that's different. Sorry, I thought you meant like, is there some kind of app out there? But no, the viral app by Jason and Wilson, that does abide by all the terms of service on Amazon. So I just want to clarify that. Okay. Jonathan Erb says, your training is very helpful. How might I get ongoing training from you beyond these 3 sessions via Rapid Crush? All right. Well, I do have an ongoing Amazon Fast Track coaching program. I'm not going to turn this into a pitch fest here. Jason has asked me if I would reopen it, and I probably will at some point, but I don't have date or anything like that yet. But thanks for asking that, by the way. Deborah says, if you can't afford to give the product away at first, would it help to offer deep discounts instead? Do you want the sugar-coated answer or the no BS answer, Deborah? I mean, if you want to do it right and get, I mean, look, you got to get as many reviews as possible. So at least give enough products away to get those reviews, okay? And then I would say, maybe see what happens, because if you really, really, really are strapped for cash, you still need to get those reviews. So you're not going to be able to avoid giving away 20 or 30 units probably, and it's not going to cost you that much, right? I mean, you should, once you're ranking for these products, always keep in mind, guys, once you're ranking, you're going to make all that investment back within a matter of days, typically, if you have a good selling product. So, yeah, if you're really, really strapped for cash, then you're just going to have to give away, like a fewer number, but you're really going to have to do it to get those reviews. And remember, phase 2, though, is exactly that. Phase 2 is turn on Amazon sponsored ads and then discount your product. So the painful part is really just in phase 1. And also, keep in mind, that's friends and family. So, they're going to be stoked for you as well. David says, have you had success running campaigns for reviews by selling at cost to family and friends? I haven't done that because, I don't want anything standing in the way of them just buying it the same day and leaving me a review. So, I mean, it's not going to cost you that much, really. Johnny says, if you're launching a product that there's nothing like it on Amazon, how long of a money-back guarantee should I give? Well, it's like asking me to play blind darts. I don't know what the product is. So, again, common sense rule. If it's something that can break easily or is like electronic or has parts that can break, I would limit that guarantee, maybe make it, 30, 60, 90 days. If it's something that there's not a lot of moving parts, I'd feel more comfortable. And there's nothing saying you ever have to do like a lifetime guarantee, by the way. I mean, I don't know how much, 90-day guarantee versus lifetime guarantee. I bet there's very little difference as far as the conversion rate between 30, 60, 90, and lifetime guarantee. I don't think that's what's driving the sale on Amazon. See, we're trying to apply stuff from the world of internet marketing where you have to give a guarantee because people are skeptical because it's like a money-making product. We're applying that to a physical product, but most people, again, we're not the market on Amazon. Ma and Pa Kettle in middle America who aren't on the computer all day long, who don't have a comfort level, they trust Amazon. So, they're looking for rat traps. They don't really care about the lifetime guarantee in most cases. It's nice. I'm not sure about you, but I've had very few people ever take me up on my guarantee. Now, I do offer a guarantee on most of my products because if they have an issue, I absolutely would replace a defective product. So that's fine. I have no problem with that. Thanks, Catherine. Catherine's fun. Show up. Me. Sign me up for coaching classes. Thanks. Let's see. James Seeley, I don't want to answer that here because you're asking me a legal question about some of the FDA requirements, making medical claims. You never basically want to say that any medical device or supplement cures anything. You have to be very careful with that verbiage. And so I don't want to get anybody into trouble, so I prefer not to answer that. Mark Pope says, what BSR values would you look for on Amazon Seller Tool for UK market? That's a good question. I don't know. That's an interesting question. I don't even know if, I think Amazon Seller Tools does UK products, right? I don't even know. I've never used it for that. That's a great question. Thanks, Deborah. Okay, so Shannon asks a question I get quite a bit, and I never know how to answer this. So, so with that, with that weasel clause, let me answer the question. Shannon says, "What is your beginning order quantity to do all your promotions and still have inventory?" oh, you're going to hate this, Shannon. It does depend, right? Because if it's like a, if it's like an iPhone screen protector, it might only cost me $1. So hell, in that case, I'd order 1,000 because it only cost me $1,000 to get 1,000 screen protectors. But if you're selling back deck grills, where my average product cost is $175, oof, right? So it really just does depend. I will say one thing, that when I first, my very first product on Amazon, I was way too conservative. Like, I don't know. I was just, I guess, skeptical maybe, but I did not order enough. And what happened was, within 2 or 3 weeks, I sold out of my product. And I was pissed because, I had gained all this momentum, and it was like, wah, wah, wah. So I would say if you can afford it, I like a number of 500 to 600 units. That's just me, okay? If you can, I mean, now if I'm going to enter a product that I feel confident in, I'm going to spend the money on packaging, I'm thinking like 1,000 to 2,000 units. But again, I'm in a different place now. Keep that in mind. I have cash flow coming in, okay? So Cam says, I'm outside the U.S. I'm launching next week. Awesome, Cam. Good job. Do you advise I do the 10 to 20 reviews through Craigslist or forums before doing the Facebook giveaway? Yes. I'll tell you why. So she's wondering, do I do your $1 Facebook giveaway promo? Okay, nobody likes to show up to a party first, right? That's why people love to be fashionably late. Likewise, nobody likes to be the first person ever to leave a review, right? So what I would do is I like to be a little bit more in control of the initial, at least the first few reviews that I get. In that case, I would not use Craigslist. You really want a warm market that has a real affinity to your product. So in that case, I would find a forum. So let's say it's like a baby product. I'm just making this up. Let's say you sell, I don't know, baby pacifiers, like a set of 6. Find some, very passionate new mother kind of forum, and just do like an impassioned post about how you're a small business, you're a mother too, and you just launched this, and can we all kind of help me out here with this, and you're going to get some wonderful reviews that way. So I would do that first. Get your base of at least, if I just had to guess, I'd probably get 5 to 10 reviews that way, and before you turn on the Facebook ads. Keep in mind, remember what I said in my training? I said you got to look at it like a submarine. You're not allowed to go from one compartment into the next until you've sealed the door. Remember what I said? I said you got to get those initial base of reviews before you do the Amazon ads. Then you do the Amazon ads before you do yada, yada, yada. See, the Facebook giveaway comes later, and you're sort of trying to skip some steps, so I don't like that. And I'm trying to keep you out of trouble. If it's a good product now, it'll still be a good product in a month. A month is not going to change your life. So I would follow the system. Let's not build your business on sand. Let's build it on a strong foundation. Starting with those reviews. Don't be in this big rush to try to skip steps. That's just my opinion. Samuel says about giving away variations. Okay. I don't have products with variations, so I'm going to guess here. This is just based on observation and people I've talked to, okay? Hold on, let me just go back to the slide here. So he's wondering, do I push all the traffic into one of my 4 variations, or do I divvy it up between the 4? What Amazon does, if you have, okay, that's called parent-child relationship. What Amazon does is, in the search results, they will display the most popular of the 4 variations. So initially, I would guess. Now, most product owners I know, they know instinctively probably which color variation is going to be the best, because you can just look at what the competition is doing and what's selling best for them. So that's, me personally, that's where I pump all the traffic through, is to the one that you think has the highest odds of ranking the best anyway. Again, I don't have experience of doing it, so that's just my guess. Nate says, if you give 20 products away, is it okay to have 20 reviews go up in one day? Well, you know, it's like that saying, trust in Allah, but tie up your camels. Me personally, I tell my friends and family, wait till you actually get the product before you post your review. So it would be unlikely, if you're doing it that way, that everyone would post all the review exactly on the same day, because shipping times will vary and things like that. But you know, when I'm right in the middle of doing a product launch, it's not uncommon for us, I'm not kidding you, to get 30 reviews in a day. It's crazy. So Yasser Mohammed says, after initially deeply discounting the price of the product, what is the time frame for slowly increasing the price to what I actually want to sell it for? Okay, good question. So I truthfully base this on a case-by-case situation. So, like, in other words, if I'm getting really good, quick traction and I'm moving up the rankings, and it's just everything is kind of jiving properly for me, then I have no problem in increasing the price by the time I'm on page 3 or 2. However, if I've gone through several 4-day waves and I'm not ranking as well as I'd like to, I'm more wary to raise the price. So if I had to give you a specific answer, I would say that the time to raise your price is when you're on page 3 or 2, with the caveat that it could hurt your ranking. So just make sure that you're seeing, you have visible proof of that ranking momentum. Again, I do it on a case-by-case basis. I'm mainly taking questions that pertain to the subject matter here as much as possible. Laura asked a very good question, and I want to take this. She says, do we need to be worried about multiple sales from the same IP address? Example, mom and dad making separate purchases from different Amazon accounts on the same computer. I would avoid that because, I'll give you an example. So my wife's sister, she really loves our products. She's in the same general IP address as where we live, but she's like the next town over. So it's not even like the exact same IP address, but it's nearby. And Amazon stopped posting her reviews because they must think that, hey, this must be one of their friends who is at a similar IP address, and they keep posting reviews. And I have heard point blank that multiple purchases, even purchases, so I've heard this happen. So you bring mom over to the family party, and mom's at your house where you log into your Amazon Seller Central. So legitimately, your mom, because she's not maybe good at technology, you log her into her Amazon account, again, during the family party at your house. You buy it. Almost always they will not post your review because it's from the exact same IP address. So yeah, I would avoid that. Just have mom do it or dad do it, but not both. And never have them do it from your house. Crazy, right? Roy De Silva says, when should they leave the review? Only after they receive the product. Yeah. Matthew says, does the one redemption per customer apply to their account or their physical address? Could they open a second account and redeem again? Yeah, they could. But, I mean, what kind of friends and family do you have? Yeah, that's why you want to, if you're going to do the Craigslist and the forum trick, that's why you want to use the Wilson Matos inventory reservation system. Don says, thanks so much for your precious time today. I'm so grateful for you. Awesome. Thanks, Don. I appreciate that. David wants to know if Jason has received his CMO resume. No clue. Well, that's pretty cool that they're hiring for that. Sydney says, what was your background before ASM2? My background was I owned a practice management company where we would turn around practices. So if you're like a chiropractor or like a dentist and you weren't making what you should, we would help you to double and triple your income. So I'm pretty good at coaching people to make changes. I'm sure you've heard I'm not the most patient guy, which I think makes me a pretty good coach because, you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff for you, which I think, I don't know, I mean, that's how I would want to be treated, you know. Let's see. Okay, so Liana Jorge Cobian says, I've ordered my product from China, and I'm having second thoughts after I'm checking ranking and discount every time on Amazon. I feel it is not the right product now. What will you do to make it outstanding before it is on sale? What will I do? Well, I'm not going to do anything. What are you going to do? No, I'm just teasing you. I would always take the pressure off yourself. I told my wife, Emily, with our first product, I said, look, assume we're not going to make any money on that first product. Who cares if we make money on that first product? The first product is going to be my Harvard Business School. This is how we're going to learn how this business runs. For the small cost to get a like a product private label, it's the cheapest education you can ever find. I think it probably cost me less to source my first product that first time than it would cost me for one freaking college course at a private university, right? It's crazy cheap to start this business. I mean, now I'm talking, you know, relatively speaking, because guys, in the real world, you know, I've owned nightclubs, I've owned handyman companies, I've owned other businesses. Those businesses, like my nightclub in the late 90s, I invested like $175,000 before I made a dime. See, in a real world, you know, if you want to buy a McDonald's franchise, if you don't have $500,000 in cash, they won't even talk to you. So in a real world, you usually have to pony up 6 figures or more. I mean, even if you're like a dentist or a chiropractor, I mean, you're talking at least 50, 60,000, and that's bootstrapping. This business, it's incredible, the money-making potential for the relatively tiny investment. All you need is to buy the course, and you just have to, you know, scrape up some money for some inventory, and you have to give some of the inventory away for reviews and to rank it. I can't think of any business with the upside that you can start for such a small investment. Sanju says, what's a good rule of thumb you use for calculating shipping costs by air per unit? Okay, so Air Express, which is how I shipped for months and months, as a general rule of thumb, again, this is quick and dirty rule of thumb, is I would double my per unit cost. So if my per unit cost was $4, it would probably cost me $8 when all was said and done. Again, you know, it not exactly, but that's just when I'm working my numbers real quick, that was pretty accurate. And that's factoring in, like, you know, FBA inspection and all that kind of stuff. Shannon says, do you recommend product liability insurance? Well, first of all, for legal reasons, I can't advise you one way or the other. Let me give you that disclaimer. And I personally don't have it because I don't think I have products. You know, there's certain products where it's obvious that there'd be an issue, like supplements. In that case, you can have your manufacturer add you under their insurance rider. Most of them will do it automatically. If not, you can do it upon requests. I've heard that some will make you order some, you know, minimum before they'll add you. And there's certain products where it would make sense. If you're selling like knives, well, yeah, probably smart to look into product liability insurance. If you're selling, you know, Post-it notes, yeah, you're probably not going to have much product liability there. But anyway, let's see here. Letitia says, when do we get the replay link for this? Well, we're always at the mercy of the rendering times because, believe it or not, there's a multi-step process that Dave has to go through. So he's very, very fast. So probably by tomorrow, I'm sure, if not sooner. James says, along the lines of my sister, of my wife's sister there, not being able to leave reviews after doing it for several products, is Amazon frowned on me getting the same friends to get 5-star reviews for every product I roll out? Well, in the real world, there's brand loyalty. So like in other words, I love Apple products, right? So if Apple sold on Amazon directly, I would probably be leaving a 5-star review for their iPhone, for their iPad, for their iMac, and for several products. So it's not, like in a real world of business, it's common for you to have a certain percentage of raving fans that love all your stuff. Like in, I have clients that have been with me literally for 17 years that every product I come out with, they write a testimonial, they rave about it, they're very, very loyal. It doesn't mean that their testimonial isn't legit. It absolutely is legit. So I would not be worried about necessarily the same 5 people or the same X number of people leaving 5-star reviews because that actually is normal in business. However, I would be a bit wary if all 5 lived in the same IP address, right? So, Pat Baker says, where'd you learn all this stuff? Pat, I was born with this. Now, oh, a School of Hard Knocks, right? If you haven't watched the first webinar I did, you should watch it because I explained that I was not one of the lucky ones in Amazon. You know, like you hear these guys that say, I've been on Amazon for 2 months and I'm making $80,000 a month. That was not me. I had to scrape and claw my way into figuring all this stuff out, and so anyway. Ram says, no break for 3.5 hours. Wow. Oh, trust me, I probably have like those vocal cord nodes that like singers have. My voice is going to be killing me. Connie says, my favorite, David Lee Roth rocked. Yeah, all right, Connie. Boy, I've been having some Amazon clients begging me to release my demo tape from the 80s. Our band was called Frenzy, which at the time we thought was super cool, but now it's kind of an embarrassing name. But yeah, we were Dokken, Scorpions, and Van Halen cover band. All the hair band stuff we used to play. I was lead guitar, in case you're curious. Let's see. Tavroon says, is sales velocity the number of sales or price times number of sales? That's an interesting question. Currently, it seems to be number of sales. I believe that sooner rather than later that Amazon will start to discount it using some weighted measurement that I'm sure they won't reveal, like dollar buys or like discount buys. Maybe. I mean, see, the thing is, Amazon is growing so rapidly in so many different directions. It's stuff that we're ultra paranoid about. I don't know if they care or even notice. I mean, if I was Jeff Bezos and I found out that, that 100 people were giving away thousands of dollars worth of free products and in the process making his customers thrilled, would I stop that behavior? I wouldn't. That would make customers love Amazon even more. I'd be like, bring it on. You guys give away all the free product you want, Francis says, will this webinar be posted for us to be reviewed again? Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're going to post. All my webinars for those emails, as well as the slides will be included. I've already given those to Dave, so he's good to go with those. I'm only going to take a couple more, and then I got to go here. Dave's probably going to kill me. Kristen wrote, if we're only able to purchase 150 units to start, would you recommend holding off on purchasing or on any promos until we have more money saved up. No, 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 no. Get in the game, Kristen. Trust me, get in the game. If you can only afford 50 units, get in the game, because that first product, just look at it as your education. There's just certain stuff you cannot learn watching passively from the stands. You got to get into the football game. You know, you have to get your hands dirty. Who cares if that first product makes you rich or not? You know, that's going to be your education. So I would say, you know, get whatever number of units you can afford. Get those ordered. So you go through the experiential process, right, of figuring out how to ship stuff to Amazon, how to create a listing, how to, you know, deal with images, how to get reviews, just all that basic foundational stuff. Because, you know, this won't be your only product in your growing Amazon empire. You're going to add multiple product lines, I'm sure. So, yeah, you just get started wherever you can. See what else. Carol wrote, boomers are only 25% brand loyal according to latest Bloomberg. Boy, that's more than I thought. I mean, 25% being brand loyal is way higher than I would have thought. So that's actually awesome. Michael says, how do you set retail price in regards to offer price? I see so many people that look fake and offer and overinflated, like seeing a $199 product for $29. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So yeah, I would do something reasonable. So if you had like a $29, you know, like a $29 product, I'd probably make my quote unquote real price or my quote unquote you know, manufacturer MSRP price at, like, I don't know, you know, $49 maybe, something like that. But yeah, I'm with you, Michael. I agree. Janelle says, do you think I'm a moron? This is funny. Do you think I'm a moron for going with a more expensive product where the first inventory batch is going to cost me $15,000? Okay, so the answer is it depends. If you're well funded, you know, you can do it. I mean, me personally, again, I always look at that first product as just an experiment. I don't care if it sinks or swims. I looked at it as just, look, I want to figure out this business. You know, I'm going to implement this stuff so I can learn the ropes. It's almost like putting a lot of pressure on yourself to go with a really expensive product that's going to cost you $15K right out of the gate. You know, then you're going to do stuff that you shouldn't do, right? Because the psychology is wrong. Because now you have to make it work. Oh, I hate that situation. I like to be detached and objective in business. I like to think, great if it works. If it doesn't, next. You know, maybe my next product will. You know, that's kind of like the mentality. At least for me in business, whenever something, quote unquote, has to work, it never does. You know, I don't know. It's like the universe is saying, oh yeah, nice try. You know, products that you're like, you know, I'd like it to work. I'm going to do everything I can to make it work. Bam, those are the ones that tend to work, right? So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. And no, I don't think you're a moron, because at least you're getting in the game. So even if you have already placed that order, okay, fine. So you place the order, and now you just do the best you can. And still, you know, $15,000. Even if you lose it all, that's still cheaper than one semester at college. And this business can make you so much more than one, you know, than one semester of, you know, theoretical learning in college. And I'm not knocking, you know, education at all. I'm just saying, you know, from a money-making standpoint. Brandon has a question about using proxies to try to trick Amazon into thinking the family reviews are coming from different places. I guess you could do that. I mean, you know, why? Like, I always ask myself, why play those games? I mean, I've given you all these methods to get legitimate reviews. You don't have to play that game. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't do anything that would put a 7-figure business at risk, potentially 7-figure, And I got to wrap up. I'm going to take probably 2 more questions here. Connie says, haha, I'm age 50 tomorrow, so total 80s chick. Hey, by the way, happy birthday, Connie. That's awesome. Yeah, my son, my son's 13, and I have a Sirius satellite radio in my car, and I try to make him listen to the hairband station. Nah, he's not having any of that. He just looks at me like I'm weird. AJ says, thanks so much, Ben. You're so helpful and generous. It is unusual in the business world. Wow. Not my kind of music, but still cool. Thanks, AJ. I appreciate that. Oh, Shannon. She was docking? Black. How dare you, Shannon? All right. Yeah, guys, we're going to run here. Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys hanging on. It's crazy how many of you are on over 3 hours and 40 minutes in. This is definitely a record for me in terms of webinars. But thanks again. If you like this, please feel free to post something in the Facebook group. I love when you guys do that. And I'll be with you guys again on December 1st. I believe it's December 1st. For our 3rd and final webinar. So until then, keep fighting a good fight, and I'll talk to all of you guys again soon. See ya.